Wait, just wait till E3. There will be a showcase, but I can't say when all our games need help. Bootleg Studios helping with Perfect Dark. I am still dying. Fuck you, please let us compete. We are like Thor. Please let us compete. Let us compete, please. We are horrible. Like Microsoft. Let us compete.
Roll!
Xbox is hands of OSS first development. My name is Matt Booty. Here is your coffee order. 2 creams, 1 sugar.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything.
I came looking for booty. I came looking for booty. I came looking for booty.
Booty! Booty!
And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal.
Because in the end, I think the gamers play the games. Of course they do. They don't play the studio. They don't play the resolution numbers. Right? They play the games, and we want to make sure the best games are there. But if you're
You hear me, right? Con men, thieves, degenerates, lowlifes, thugs, criminals!
It's Mega Man. You've gone from suck to blow.
I'm so gone. No, I'm never turning back. I won't stop. I'ma fight until there's nothing left. It's so on. You're gonna be hurting bad. Cause I've been to hell and back. You don't wanna make me mad. I stay strong. You will never see me crack. And if you get in my way, you're gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math. When I hate, I attack. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal.
It's turbo time. It's turbo time. It's turbo time. It's turbo time. But I hope you leave enough room for my fist, because I'm going to ram it into your stomach and break your goddamn spine. This is not worth it.
You just made the list.
Enough from me. We're gonna have the games do our talking.
What's up, grinders? Mound up, get them out, send up the signal. It's Monday night, the grindhouse doors are open. Get me the bonfire. Where's my fire? Fire and brimstone. There it is. What's up? How's everybody doing out there? Grinders in the house. What is up? Sorry. Oh man, I was out with the family, racing back here. Got back late, so sorry everybody. I apologize, but we're here in the warm flames of the grindhouse. What a week! What a weekend! Yes, just dude, I got oh baby, you can see the list tonight. So we got some topics, and I don't know. No, let me see if hold hold on the phone here. Let me see. Hit that like button, grinders, as I'm doing here. I apologize. Oh, no, not that one. I gotta grab this. There we go. Where am I? Where is it? There it is. Oh, yeah, we're gonna have to do a Grindadamus. Grindadamus in this house. But, man, what a crazy time, man. What a crazy summer. Crazy, dude. Let me do my shout-outs here. I apologize. I'm going to shout out the new members here. I didn't get a chance to add you to the board. I promise I'll add you to the board if I haven't done so already. You know, just hit me up in the comments section if you don't see your name on the VIP Grindhouse board. I'm doing my best to get everybody on there. There's so many members now. I want to thank everybody for all your support and all your help with the Gaming Grindhouse. It's going to be a wild ride. If this thing, when it goes through, man, we're going to wild ride. So let me do the shout-outs here. Everybody coming on into the Grindhouse. Let's get you guys in here. Ooh, here we go. We got Neil for Brizzle. For Brizzle. I love they changed his name. For Brizzle. For Breeze. For Brizzle. What's up, Ryan? Mad Joe. Mary Wilcox. Gamer NXI. How you doing? Amanda Pemberton. Zero Steel. How you doing? Kieran on the chemist. Mary Wilcox. We got Ryan. Yeah, boy. Dertro Dan, the VIP's in the house. Zero Steel. And again, I said his name already. Matty Beast. What's up? Dave Rock. How you doing?
You just made the list.
Maniolis of the VIP Grinder. Shout out to Maniolis. Give him a follow, man. Thank you again, Maniolis, for all your support, man. I appreciate it. Robert Lawrence, VIP in the house. Dad of War, Wild Wolf. How's everybody doing? Oh, somebody talking about D's Nuts Cloud.
Just made the list.
Dude, Black Nuts Cloud is left out in the cold. Those are cold, shriveled black nuts. We got to find out what's going on. They're sponsor of this podcast. Ron M is a VIP Grinder. Welcome, Ron M, VIP Grinder. Thrifty, what's up, man? How you doing? Plus Ultra, Jeff B. Gamins, VIPs. What's up? True Virgil, there he is. What's up, man? He says the bootleg returns. Thank you, True Virgil. I'm glad you call yourself the bootleg. And shout out to you, True Virgil, hanging out there with these nuts. Maybe you could save Black Nuts Cloud. We need to save them. Somebody we have out. They're out in the cold. Shriveled nuts. Sergeant, what's up? How you doing? To Floyd, what's up? Hit that grind button. Hit that goddamn grind button. What is up? Anonymous Boss, VIP Grinder in the house. How you doing, JC? VIP. Diablo Dark Matter. Veja, what's up? What is Mr. Tennis? How you doing? Oh, man. You guys. Oh, Umar. Yo, Umar. Swag Big. Jacob Walkers. How you doing, man? You guys, man, you got tons of people in here. Holy crap. What all these names just came up? Just became VIPs. I don't know where these lists come up. Knight SPG just became a VIP. Reapers. Seattle Chief. Seattle Chief. You got the insiders. What's going on in Seattle? Let us know. MZ Phantom. David Rock. Steve Leon. Neil. Gino DeMarcos. True Virgil reconfirming he's the bootleg. Thank you, True Virgil. And Nassim, how you doing? Flexing those emojis. Lulu! Where's Lulu? Man. Simping for Lulu. They're out there in the streets. Shout out. Who this? That's why Ron M gifted 10 VIP grind. I didn't even see that. Thank you, Ron M.
You just made the list.
Thank you. That's where all those people came from. I was like, where are they coming from? And he's a member for 8 months. Shout out to Ron M, man. Huge donator of the VIP members. Man, half that club is from Ron M. Speaking of the club, where are they? We need love in this club. Love in this club. What? No, not this song. Oh, Satya. Oh, goodness.
Listen to me.
We suck again.
Okay, stop there. Get out of here. Get out of here. Let's get to the VIP grinders. Shout out to the wall of the club. Where are they? Here they come. Mr. Herman Halls. Half this wall, Ron M is opening up the doors for the VIPs. We're going to have to put the new Series S in the background there. I don't know what to do anymore. Boosters. And we got the proud representative there, True Virgil, hanging out there by these nuts. Hanging in there. Shout out True, man. He's a VIP, man. He keeps winning those things. I didn't do anything. What's going on? What's going on? What's that? But shout out to the VIPs. Holy Manny O's with a 10 people coming on into the VIP grinders. Oh, fitting for the oh my goodness. All these people coming on in. Jay Jeffrey just became a VIP. Dead Pixel Rumble A. Olubalad. Samurai Akeem and the one and only JX Gaming 78. Welcome. Edward B just came in. B-Mo. Rob Solid. Man. Woo! J-Ray got True Virgil for a month. He hanging out there. Oh my goodness. Thank you. VIP grinders. Get your drinks. Thank you, Mr. Herman. We need, you know what? We need to see Herman Holtz. We need to see some of that quality. I missed a little Mr. Herman Holtz. He was on the yacht at the last show. Look at all these emojis in the chat. Shout out to everybody. Damn. Many has that mic. Shout out to everybody. Oh, it's been a wild week. Woo-hoo. Did I even have my Discord up? Yeah, I do. Okay. I kept you waiting long enough. Let's get these topics. Shout out to all the VIPs, man. Thank you so much. And thank you for everybody in the chat and hitting that like button and the comments. I read them all. Comment on them all. But thank you again, everybody. Let's do this. So what am I playing, right? Wow, talking about games. Oh, we've been watching CNBC so far and goddamn the People's Court. So I got, let me tell you something. PSVR 2 Sync Riders just dropped a whole new album for free. I think it's like 8 songs for Sync Riders for VR 2. Dude, I'm telling you right now. That game, I got another list of games. I got to get Synapse. I have them on my wish list. There's 3 games I got to get now. But I'm telling you right now, dudes, the Sync Riders, that is my go-to. It's like my workout thing. I put on that thing, and Sync Riders is awesome. The music is awesome. Like that 80s, like it's so good. The songs they pick, man, and you are really into it. I like it better than Beat Saber, honestly. But they just dropped a new album, and new Sync Riders Volume 3. And there's about 8 songs for free, and there's like another 8 that you can pay for. So I might probably buy the rest of it, but I just did the thing, man. Yes, see? Brian East, all right. Short break from Fun Fantasy. Yo, they got about 8 songs, Brian, man. They got about 8 to 10 songs. They're all pretty good. Oh, Synapse is short? That's all right, man. I got to play it, though. I hear it's friggin' awesome. But, man, I've been rocking. I just get that Sync Riders on me. I get like 4 or 5 songs in me. I work up a sweat, and I'm like, woohoo, that was good. And then I could game. But, man, I love it. I love that, though. That Sync Riders, man. I like it better than Beat Saber. Even though I got the Beat Saber Queen, which that's good too. But they dropped a new album. I was hyped up. I'm glad they're dropping more songs for that stuff. And the new songs that they have for DLC even seem cool too. There's a couple in there I might get. But if you got a VR 2, man, jump into Sync Riders. That is the best. And I'm telling you, everybody will love it. Everybody will love that game. That is like that is like if you need approvals from your significant others, go get the Sync Riders and the VR 2. And you'll be good as gold. Trust me. There's the one I got my wife to play. We play all night long, and we do the Sync Riders, and she loves it too. So I'm telling you, it's really good. But yeah. So I play that. I'm wrapping up Resident Evil 4, finishing that up, and then also I got back into Dead Island 2. Man, oh man, Dead Island 2 is awesome. I wish though it was a little bit more exploratory. Like I do like. The environments and stuff, I guess, could be more detailed because it's not as open world as the first one was. I felt the first one had a little bit more exploration to it, but I guess it was so long ago, that one. But I gotta tell you, the Dead Island 2, man, I'm loving that, man. I love that. That game is awesome, man. Just using the weapons. The only thing that I wish that they added, and again, I'm a freak with this stuff. I want the analog stick swinging control. That is something that I'm very disappointed that is not in the game. I do not like hitting the right trigger for swinging. I like using the analog stick for it. Final Fantasy 16, I've been dabbing in. I'm about 5 hours into Final Fantasy 16. First off, I love the combat in Final Fantasy 16. The story is awesome. I really like what they're doing with the story. It's definitely more mature. It's and what's going on and the idea like this. There's a lot of stuff going on. And man, that girl, that Benedicta, is badass. Man, I just love how they just like throw these huge fights at you. It's friggin' awesome. So yeah, I'm loving Final Fantasy 16, and definitely I feel a lot more. I'm gonna tell you this too. The Final Fantasy 16, I feel like is a very they plan to make that for a lot of people, because I feel like they do a lot of tutorials, a lot of reminders, a lot of kind of like the systems and stuff. It pops up a lot, trying to know that these RPG people coming into this game, or there's elements in that they want to do tutorials. Yes, very Game of Thrones heavy. Very Game of Thrones. I know I haven't scratched it. I know I've been jumping into a whole bunch of different games. And then I just beat Turtles again. I've been playing the Shredder's Revenge is awesome. I can't wait for the DLC. But I had it on Steam. I beat it on Steam, and then now it came to PlayStation, and me and my son went through it about 3 times already.
You just made the list!
But yeah, that is Turtle Shredder's Revenge is friggin' awesome as well. But I know that came out last year. But I tell you, that was a huge get for Game Pass last year. And I can't believe how people really didn't, like, I don't know why nobody really brought that up. I thought that was the best Game Pass game that they launched last year. That was a big get for it. Whatever. Yo, Link's coming out of my other speakers. Hold on, Link. What's up, man? How you doing? Hold on, let me get you coming out of the right speaker here. You just came, you came out of my side speaker of my laptop. It sounded like you were like sitting next to me. Hold on, let me get you in here. Let me fix the audio here. I don't know what the hell is going on. Output to here. All right, now, Link, good. Let me see. Hear you now.
What's up, man?
Yeah, there you go, dude. There you go. Yeah, I thought so. Like, they got that on launch, like the Shredder's Revenge last year. But I don't think.
Oh yeah, the new Turtles game.
Yeah, dude, it's pretty awesome. It's really good.
I bought it. Yeah.
I had it on Steam. I bought it on Steam, and then I just played it again on PlayStation. Get the trophies on that thing, because you get tons of trophies in that. On that one. But yeah, it's B-Card is legit VIP for 4 months. He goes live for the first time. What's up, Jez? We hold the L for a day. I started to notice the 3 C's start game begging for stuff that's not coming ever. Nope. Listen. Nope. I'll tell you right now, this whole bend the knee thing, that's why I titled my video the way it is, because we got to talk about that stuff. So, but we'll get to it in just a little bit. Link, what have you been playing?
Final Fantasy 16.
There you go, man.
I beat it a few days ago, man. What a phenomenal game. Easily my game of the. Well, I'm not gonna say easily. You know, Zelda was my game of the year up until this game, and I think this might be edging it out right now. So.
Really?
Yeah,
I can tell you. Yeah, I'm not that far into it. I've been bouncing around, but I'm enjoying it.
Let me see how many hours I got in. 93 hours.
Holy shit! Yeah, I'm like 5.
I mean, I beat the game. I'm just doing a bunch of side quests and the hunts and stuff like that. So
the combat's awesome. I really enjoy the combat.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, like, you know, I know the turn-based people like against the stuff, but I really like the combat. I think it's very engaging. It makes you want to fight. I like that. I always hate the be honest, and people are gonna say like, people are gonna say, you know, you're not a true Final Fantasy fan, but I never liked the when you had to get somewhere, the random fights. I hated that stuff. Like when you walk through a bunch of bushes and all of a sudden, like, you get into a fight. I'm like, I'd never liked that.
Yeah, they haven't had the random encounters.
I know. That's why I like it now, because I never liked that part of Final Fantasy. Like, it annoyed me when I was just trying to get on the map. I didn't mind it. Oh man, I was just trying to get somewhere, and then all of a sudden it'd be like, Now,
when they re-release the old games, they give you the option to you can hit the start menu and turn off random encounters.
Oh, really?
So if you were just trying to traverse. Final Fantasy 7, I beat that game probably 4 months ago or so, 4 or 5 months ago, and on the PS4 version, and you can pause the game and hit. I can't remember what you press, and it will turn off random encounters.
But not the other ones, not those classic ones that they released that pack, like from 3, 4, and 5.
I don't even know.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't get that
it.
either. That
know.
was just too much of a game. That's too much gaming for me. Like, that's
Too
too much
many
Final
games,
Fantasy, dude. Like, I'm like, yeah, I'll buy it and probably just sit there until, like, when there's nothing there, dude. So, like, yeah, nah. I wouldn't get that one. So, but yeah, I'm telling you, I love the combat. I think it's super engaging. And I think, the whole thing, I use the dog. Like, I use the dog to attack. Like, there's definitely elements of there. Like, they evolved it really well. I thought it was great.
You're my number
No,
one
it's phenomenal.
customer.
Yeah, I really love it. I think it's really great. And then I've been loving the I got finished up Dead Island 3 and Resident Evil. I tell you, Resident Evil, that remake, they did such a good job on that one. But man, I tell you, some of those, some of the oh man, I really, the thing is, so listen here, I never played Resident Evil 4, never. I played the first mission.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, right. Because the way my gaming went with the consoles, I just never got around to it and never played 4. That was the only one I never beat. And so this is my first time playing through 4. I only got to the clock tower in the beginning. I never finished it because I got rid of my GameCube. I've played Resident Evil 0. I got rid of my GameCube, and then when it came to the systems, I was just too involved, and I never got around to it. It came to Xbox, I never played it.
I still have my GameCube.
Yeah, man, I got rid of my GameCube and stuff like that. So like, I
never got rid of my console, so I always kept. I still got my original NES.
I wish
NES
I never
that was
did.
bought in 1989. Still got
Curse GameStop, dude. Curse GameStop.
Yep.
I shouldn't have given. I
never traded my games or my console. Never did it.
I know. I should have kept all my stuff. I had it all. I swear, I went to that like one of those gaming retro things, and I saw all the consoles. I'm like, I had everything. I had all this. I had all these games. I see them have bins of all these games. I'm like, that's what my drawer looked like. And I'm like, I had all this stuff. Where did it all go? And I got rid of it all. I just traded it in. My parents got rid of it. Like, they just got rid of it. Sucks, man. Sucks. Yo, shout out to Steven Lyon, VIP Grinder with the 20. He goes, thank you, Jez. Keep up the good work. You give some of the best takes on this. I will support you. Hey, thank you so much, Steven. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. I thank you so much for all your support, man. I appreciate it. Well, I'm not an insider. I don't have no Phil Spencer and, Jim Ryan kind of connections. I don't have developers. I'm just a consumer and observant person that I think everybody is. Like, if you're spending your money, you want to make sure that you're not wasting it. And that's like a lot of the stuff, but I appreciate it, man. That's all I come from. Just like a regular just consumer and loving this thing. So, but yeah, speaking about the old days, we got to pour one out. Pour one out for our good the thing that got me into Xbox, man. I can't believe it. We got to pour one out for
Xbox Live!
Xbox Live is going away. The name is gone. It's no more Xbox
It's
Gold.
gone.
End of an era, dude. Major Nelson left on Friday, and Xbox Live Gold is ending in September. Xbox Live, it's gone. It's just online play now, and it's now called Gamepass Core. And with the little Xbox sign. So they tried to throw Xbox in there. But
now let me ask you a question, Jess. Can you still buy the $60 cards or whatever?
Apparently, yes. Apparently, yes.
Okay.
You can get $60. So they're keeping it at $60 for the Game Pass Core. Because that was something that wasn't shown in there. So the Game Pass Core.
Now, if you do it monthly, it's $9.99.
It's $9.99. But that's what Xbox Live has always been. It's always been $10. If you buy it a year, it's $60. And we're going to go into the next topic is going to be comparing it because that's a huge caveat between PlayStation and Xbox, the yearly sign up that Xbox doesn't have, only in this base one. But the fact that they're getting rid of Xbox Live, like the name of that, I just think like Xbox Live Gold, man, like that's what got me into Xbox. I remember the stand popping up there. I remember Doc Matter, whatever the hell the guy's name was. I forgot what it was. It was like that Xbox. Oh wait, you know what? Maybe we could bring it up as like I can remember seeing this commercial when I worked at Circuit City, and that's where my friend said, "Hey, we're playing online tonight. We're playing some Ghost Recon," and I'm like, "Wait, go where? Where?" He goes on Xbox. I'm like, "What?" And I remember my first game. He showed me around Unreal Tournament. That was my first game, and then I played online. I bought the headset with the kit, and I went online and I played GT Motorsport, which is the bicycle racing game against people from Australia. yo, this was crazy because you needed networking at the time. You needed you couldn't use dial-up for this. And let's see if I could find this. Oh my god, if you remember this stuff. Launch. So I waited a year until Xbox Live launched. And oh my god, here it is. Dude, this thing. Look at this. This is just a memorandum of Xbox Live. Because people think that, like, oh, you were so... Dude, I had a PlayStation. I didn't have a PlayStation 2. It's crazy. Oh, shit, Matty Beast worked at Circuit City for 1 hour. Oh, my God. I worked there for 3 years. I was selling cameras, computers, and then I moved over to audiovisual. But, dude, remember that? This was the video that was playing in the demo station at Circuit City. Right here, man. This guy. Look at this. Xbox Live memorandum. There it is.
I am now loading Acclaim's Revolt. I will soon experience complete oneness with an interconnected global community of game warriors. I can feel the energy flowing through the high-speed Ethernet cable.
Chuck, you cool?
Yeah, here it is. This is the one.
I was born ready. My name is Chuck. You cool? Dumb master?
Dark Master, there it was.
You see, we're already signed up. It was way easy, just took a couple of minutes and we're good to go. Once you've signed up, you never have to do it again. Plus, you get to pick your gamer tag, you know, your online identity. Mine's Dark Master. I play every game as Dark Master. And
you can do the voice change.
Recognize who I am.
Oh no, not Dark Blister.
Yep.
Whoa, that was Spider-Man behind
him.
him.
A reputation for my superior skills. Anyway, this is the matchmaking screen. You can choose Quick Match, which will hook you up with any available gamer, or you can be more selective and use Optimatch. Optimatch lets you find the right game at your level or style, or you can host a match where you set all the criteria. For your first race, let's just jump in and do a quick match. Hit it, Grasshopper.
My name is Chuck.
Okay. Chuck?
Dude, man.
Pick a car.
This is so easy. Well, what's up with this?
Oh, well, this is the lobby. See how there are all these people hanging out? We have Thrasher, Roadhog, there's Oil Slick.
Oil Slick!
Cool. What's so cool, Dork Master?
Dude, they can hear me, and I can hear them.
That's the coolest thing about Xbox Live, the voice. Grasshopper's got his Xbox communicator, and so does Roadhog.
The communicator!
And anyone else who's playing can
McDonald's
use
headset.
Whoa, did you hear that guy, Oil Slick? He sounds like a good racer.
That's another thing that rocks about voice. Voice masking. There's this thing called voice masking.
You can change your voice
to fit any game or mood.
What do you think about that?
I've got to get
That's the Phil Ness voice.
All about broadband, my man. You gotta have high-speed internet service.
Like DSL or cable?
Exactly. You're learning much.
You can be the Phil Ness
So
voice.
these people, they can hear me in real time.
We can hear you, fool.
Yeah, how about shutting up and starting the race?
my
All right, let's go.
Look at
You
these.
stink, Dark Master. My grandma drives faster than you.
You're mine, Oil Slick.
We are gonna so beat you.
That
No,
dude's a
you're not.
jerk.
Stop it. You are so going down.
Grass, press the mute button.
No, that mutes everybody. I got a better idea. Let's mute that oil spew instead. Hey, Dirk, can you tell your audience what I'm going to do?
Don't mute me. Stop it. I'm Phil Ness. I just want to play with gamers. I'm a gamer. I'm Phil. I play with the game
Shut him up.
You guys are so pathetic. You chopped my...
It's Phil Ness. The mutant Phil Ness.
Yeah, gotta love that feature. And that's the race. Check out the results screen. It shows everyone's standings in the race. Hey, Roadhog's cool and a worthy opponent. Let's add him to our friends list.
Well, how do I do it?
Oh, the friends list is a really cool way to keep track of the people we like to play against. When we add Roadhog to my list, he'll show up on my list every time I go live.
Okay, so how do we do it?
Go to the players list and send a friend request. Now Roadhog will get an invitation to be on my friends list.
Cool. I accept.
Look at that Spider-Man guy.
All right, now that Grasshopper
Who's that guy?
is
Is that Somniac?
Just the way I like it. This time I'm going to create an Optimatch so I don't wind up with losers like that Oil Slick freak. All right, see, I can choose to find a match or create a match. I'm setting up the game type, which track I want to race, how many laps, and my experience level. Expert, of course. I'm going to invite my friends. Oh, hey, there's Roadhog. I'm going to send him an invitation to race with me. We'll see if he accepts.
Where's the one where he's yelling at
Send him a
people?
game invite.
No, NFL
There it is.
Fever.
He checks out his friends list, see who's sending him a
Dude,
friendly
NFL
challenge.
Fever. Microsoft had like sports games.
Invite from Dark Loser. It's like candy from a baby.
And he happily accepts an invite from one of his good buddies. Now all he needs to do is swap out his game disc and we'll be ready to roll.
Swap out the game, dude.
Are you ladies ready to roll?
Ready when you are.
Sayonara, guys. I've been waiting for you at the finish line. I can just inch around.
Look how he's playing, dude. He looks like he's taking a dump.
Woo! Losers! I win!
Oh, man, this sounds like Twitter. What are we doing? What are we doing here?
Number 1, national leaderboard, baby! Yeah! Woo!
Oh,
Hey, whoa,
man.
Guys, where you going? Come on.
The W.
You got it, right?
Roll! It's raw, Melissa! It's raw! Come on!
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
Idiot sandwich what?
An idiot sandwich.
Where's the lamb sauce?
Well, there it is. I'm sorry to, if people remember that was memory lane of Xbox Live's original video. That Spider-Man guy, dude, that was Insomniac. Now they got both consoles. Dude, that was crazy, man. That was insane. That original Xbox Live trailer. Oh my god. What is this one? Is this another one? Wait, what is this one? Oh yeah, this is when he did.
Or you can pick from a list of voices.
This was like another one. This guy. This is their Kevin Butler.
Guys, it gets like totally absorbed, you know. Taste it. Yeah. You're going down.
That's gotta hurt.
You want some more?
It's crazy.
Oh, you like that, do you?
Watch me go. Oh, yeah.
NFL
Everybody
fever.
goes down.
Yeah. So pretty soon, I had like the highest score in the country. Master. Actually, I think there was one other person that was above me. I mean, hey, it was no big deal. Oh, I don't think so. So I decided to be fun to contact this guy and challenge him. All right, how about it? Crusher?
Oh no, the memories are cool in your head.
Master, I'm Crusher. We'll see who gets crushed, Crusher.
The kick is away and the game.
Oh no, it is.
Like I was all distraught or anything about losing, you know? What? I mean, it would have been nothing, you know?
So anyway, Xbox Live is going away. Sorry for memory lane there. Sorry to bore you, Link. But yeah, so Xbox Live, it's no more. Like they will be getting rid of the name of it and moving it to Xbox or Gamepass Core on the thing. And yeah, man, this is some memories here of Xbox Live, dude. This is it's crazy. This is what they. Hey, whatever they did, the Xbox One was an experiment, and then the 360, they really kind of dealt it home with like, what this stuff, man, it's crazy. It's so what they're doing now with Game Pass Core. We'll just leave this video on here. Is that so? Just to explain to everybody what they're doing with this is that they're turning Game Pass, the base thing, to online play, 25 games. They will add or change games out 2 to 3 games a year. And then it does not include Game Pass. So that's it. It's online and they're getting rid of Games of Gold. Those 2 games. Now remember, they used to give 4, but in October they pulled it out and they only give you 2 now. They took away the 360 games. And nobody complained about that, but everybody was pocket watching. So they went down from 4 to 2. Since October. What's up, Thresh? This is why I leave the screen up like this. So then what they're going to do is they're going to do this core thing. So I got a thing up for it just to show you what they're doing here. And so, Link, did you change your mind? What do you think about Xbox Game Pass Core?
I don't need it, so... I guess they're trying to put kind of like how PlayStation did with PS Plus and kind of put it all under the same name and just have different tiers, you know. So I get what they are doing, but the confusing thing is like you pay $1 more, you get access to all the day and date games, but you can't play online.
That's always been the problem. Yeah, remember I've been always saying that's been the problem with Xbox console. Like that's when I had my Xbox Series X. That was the first dilemma. It was like, wait, I'm paying say $60 a year for just to play online, and Games with Gold is not even worth a damn because it's not even that they even give decent games in there. It was a joke. So it was like you're really just paying solely for $60 or $10 a month to play online because the games were not good. Not even compared to what Sony was doing before they made Gamepass PlayStation Plus Essential. Even before that, Sony was giving out tons of games in their monthly games in base PlayStation Plus without PlayStation Now, and they've been doing that. So now they left the console one for $10.99 Game Pass that does not include online games. And I've said it, and people know. They've been on this show. They listen to me a long time. And for those that have been listening for a while, that's been the biggest thing. Like, if you could pay $10.99, and they increased it. It was $9.99. Now they increased it to $10.99 because they added the core one, and they increased it $1, and they're giving you, and they give you the same problem. There are games in there that you can't play at all, such as Sea of Thieves, Gears 5 online. You can't play Halo 5 online. You can't play any online. They're full online games that you can't even play at all.
Is that in that list of 25 games?
No, I'll show you the list. I'll show you the list. It's a better list than Games of Gold, but it's definitely a weird list on there. But yes, Mr. Tennis, 2 to 3 games a year. So the 25 you're getting is basically high quality console games that's not turning out every month from their blog post, what they say. They're not adding new games every month. Are those games going
to rotate in and out? Or
no, here, I'll show you what their blog post says here. So what their blog post said here was that, where is it here? I want to go right to their blog post. Where do they have it? Is this it? Here it is. Yeah, so what they say here is right here. Our launch collection is 25 titles from Xbox Game Studios, Bethesda, and content partners for everyone. New titles will be added 2 to 3 times a year. Okay, so 2 to 3 times a year, not 2 to 3 games a month, but 2 to 3 times a year they'll add new games. The new titles will be added. Dude, here are the games. Well, actually, I got the list though here, The Verge. Well, this is what they're sharing. So they got Among Us, so 2 to 3 times a year. So you're not getting 25 base games like you got with the PlayStation Plus collection and then new 3 games or so every month. You're getting 2 to 3 times a year. You're getting new titles will be added to this thing. So they're definitely it's the bootleg tier of Game Pass. Like, you're gonna get, and look at the games they're putting. They're not gonna put. They didn't even put Halo Infinite in here. Look at what's missing. Among Us. They got Among Us, Descenders. Oh, that guy. The Dishonored 2, Doom Eternal, Fable Anniversary, Fallout 4, Fallout 76, Forza Horizon 4, Gears 5, Grounded, Halo 5, Guardians, Halo Wars 2, which they're never making a Halo Wars again, they said, Hellblade, the old-ass game in there, Human Fall Flat, Inside, Ori and the Will Wisp. Is that the first one? Right? Ori and the Blind Fire is the first one. That's the sequel. Psychonauts 2, State of Decay 2, and Elder Scrolls Online Tamriel Edition. Pretty old games on there. And no Halo Infinite. I know the multiplayer is free, but no Halo Infinite campaign. Bootleg Joel. Nobody cares about him. I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't. It says here that more will be announced in advance of September 14th. New titles will be added 2 to 3 times a year. Those are some old games in there. And so you're getting rid of the whole monthly games with gold, and now you're getting this base set, which is a better game, better games, but they're old games. And we'll see what they do 2 to 3 times a year. So I'm assuming probably E3 or that kind of middle of the year will be 1 time a year, and then there'll probably be 2 or 3 another time. Maybe at the holidays or something, they'll add a couple of games into there. So who knows? They add another 25. But the problem is that they got this tier here. They can't make that core tier 2 appealing for refreshing games because that takes away from the console one of Game Pass, and also the need to move to Ultimate. So the thing is that core really gets you the online multiplayer where this one doesn't. So really, the whole incentive is to go from core to Ultimate. That's what they want you to do. And if you remember, I brought up what Brad Sam said back in the day. They back a few months ago is that they want everybody, just like when they increased the price of Xbox Live, they want everybody to be the ultimate subscription, and that would they just put up a couple of dollars. It went from 15 to 17. But that console one sitting at $10.99 that you get all the games day one. I can't believe they kept this in here. They should have got rid of this and just made the core on there. But you're right. Jeff B. Gaming, 1 month of a grinder. Well, VIP grinder. Shout out to you, man. He goes, Jez, why can't Xbox add 25 games plus 2 decent games a month? PlayStation does it. Yeah, PlayStation does it. PlayStation did the PlayStation Plus collection, which they recently took away, but they had it for the first couple of years for PlayStation 5.
You just made the list.
And now they add 3 and 4 games, and you saw what they added. You know, they added Alan Wake. Like, they added some good games in there. And this is not the first time they've been doing it. PlayStation been doing it before they did that.
I don't even care about that service like that, but they did add Alan Wake and Black Ops.
Yeah.
The last Black Ops game.
Dude, they added Black Ops 3 back at E3 2019. They added Black Ops. Oh, the Black Ops 3, I think they added in 2019. JX Gaming, the 5, he goes, that video was weird as hell, but that was when Xbox was good. Now it's a pile of crap filled with Twitter crybabies and non-gamers. Yeah, I know. You know what hurt a lot of it, too, was the party chat. The party chat was good, but the party chat also took away a lot of the teamwork aspects of just, like, you know, meeting up people. But also, there was just, like, people were getting crazy on that online stuff, man. Like, they had the party chat, people just put people on mute and stuff. Yeah, it was wild. But, yeah. That was a weird video, but that was their PR, man. But the best one on here, I'm going to tell you right now, is the First Class A Gamer. And not the one that Link likes. PC. That is the way to go, dude.
Oh, my God.
Dude, I'm telling you, PC is the ultimate one. It's $10. It gives you all the Game Pass games, day one games, and you get EA Play membership as well. And you get the free online as according to PC. That is the A1 list right there. And that's the problem with this whole system is that of all these subscriptions right here, one of them doesn't offer online play, and that's the $10.99 one.
You're my number one customer.
That's whack. That is really whack because, like, the PlayStation one, all of them include online, and we can compare them in a bit. But, like, the PlayStation one all include online. There's not a tier that does not include online play on console. This one, there's a blatant tier right there that does not allow you to play online. And there are games in there that require online to play that you can't play at all. And you can't play their multiplayer modes. And I said even day one, that was a trick. That was a way for them to coerce you to move from console Game Pass to Ultimate Game Pass. I still think this is my opinion on this. I think this is not good enough. I think they
You're
messed
my number
up.
one customer.
I think they messed up here. I think this is not a good. This seems very fragmented. They needed to sort this out and be very clear moving forward. I thought what they were going to do is offer some sort of like Game Pass alternative where you'll get maybe 50 or 100 games. And you just won't get the day ones. And the day ones will fall into a higher tier of Game Pass. And actually, you know what? I don't want to talk about this now. Let's go back to the past, Link. Maybe about 7 months ago. And Link, you were there as well. You were there. And you were there. And you were there. Before I played. Yeah, you were there. You were there, Link. You were here. We were talking about Games of Gold. It was 6 months ago. It was in our predictions for 2023. Well, I'm going to play it now. But first, let me read the Game Night 1, 2, 3, the $5. He goes, the Game Pass marketing is going to be weird to sell people on. Xbox is going to still advertise Play Day 1 on Game Pass, but not mention Core. That's a good point. And I have another, Grindadamus thing I tweeted out today about Game Pass. And we'll get to that, Ryan, definitely like that. But let's go look to Grindadamus of the past. Link, you were there too. Linkadamus. Over there as well. Well, I'm just going to play it right here, and let's hear what...
Snitch, that's it. I got him out. That's it. Now my snitch. I got to get a new one. I need a new one.
Let's hear what you say.
But yeah, so there's your Games of Gold.
Yeah, dude, Games of Gold was horrible, man. It was a travesty. And they took too long to mess around with it. But
anyway,
here my prediction.
Next thing was also
7 months ago
on the list was a wonderful little chart from Zubitech.
Wait, no, that's not it. Wait.
price for that. But meanwhile,
I had
a
it
year
queued
and a half,
up.
almost 2 years later, he's still delivering trash, taking away games.
Oh, yeah, here it is.
People made excuses. Like, but then they were trying to increase the price to $120, which it still is if you don't find those cards. It's over now. So we understand, Phil. It's okay. Yeah,
That's when they took away the games in October.
You've exploited the whole.
What's here my
the
prediction?
Subscription kings. They tell you it's the future. Don't own your games. Starting with that bug snacks on day one.
Yeah, here we go.
They've always given one PS5 game and 2 PS4 games. Hell, they gave the enhancements to Wreckfest as one of the months.
No, I'm skipping around, Zero.
I know, Score. I don't know. Dude,
It's Inception.
I have no clue. But I'm saying for the people that are so...
No, this is me going crazy with the three
That's
C's.
the point. Since the series consoles have launched, they made such a big...
Where the hell is it? I had it queued
Hell,
up.
if they put an enhancement in the goddamn server. Bullshit move.
I thought I had it.
Platinum.
Oh, here
Let
it
us
is.
complete.
There it is. Here's my prediction.
Was they didn't cannibalize their own PlayStation Plus subscribers. They just
Sorry,
did
I'm
custom,
skipping around.
and they just added more value.
It's me in
Added
another
gold tiers
video.
and stuff, which is hilarious because they could have did that with gold. They could have said, "Here's games with gold," and guys, guess what? Here's games with gold. Here's games with platinum, or here's Xbox Live Platinum. Let us complete. That is funny, Ryan. Like, yeah, right? They should just say, like, here's Xbox Live Platinum. That's your Game Pass. And Xbox Live Diamond or something like that that has the day one games. They could have done that and built off Xbox Live. Instead, they didn't do that. They said, oh, here's Game Pass. Here's Xbox Live. You need Live for Game Pass and try to get you $15. Well, story's over, dude. Like, now it's time to compete. So I said one of the big things in 2023, what's coming?
There it is.
They're going to rebrand Xbox Live. They got to. Or they'll get rid of Xbox Live and just make it Game Pass Basic, Game Pass Gold. Or Game Pass Gold, they'll call it. And Game Pass Ultimate. I don't know. But they got to change it. But I don't know why it's taking them so long to do it. But I can tell you right now, Sony's June... Because remember, we knew about Sony's plan. Right, Link? If Link is still there. Like, we knew about Sony's plan for this what do they call it? Neo?
Yeah, remember when we knew... Just remember when we knew about Sony's rebranding of their service. Man, isn't that crazy? I was said that one of the predictions of this year was that they're going to rebrand it. They had to. Because Sony put them on pressure. So comparing it to the Sony one... So now we have here. So this is the thing with the Sony one, right?
Right.
I got it up here, the PlayStation Plus now. The biggest difference, and again, they don't want to bring this up. Yeah, that was my prediction 7 months ago. I told you. I was like, because Essential basically put pressure on Microsoft to make Xbox Live irrelevant. And that's why I said Microsoft needed to rebrand it because that Xbox Live was an appendix. And I said exactly, they needed to do that. Dude, I said that 7 months ago. How crazy is that? They had to rebrand. I said that was one of my predictions of this year in December because they needed to do it. And they did it, but they just didn't do it at the way I thought they were going to do. I didn't think they were just going to take 25 games and say, here you go, and then keep Core there, keep the console one there for $10 a month, $10.99, and do that. But the problem is that all those subscriptions that Microsoft has, these ones here, all these subscriptions that Microsoft has, we'll do a side by side here. See if I could do them. So these subscriptions that they have don't have a year discount. The only one is the first one, is Core. That's the only one. But you still can't buy a year of Ultimate. You still can't buy a year of console. You still can't buy a year of PC. And what does it matter? I just buy a bunch of cards, right? But look what Sony does. Their equivalent of Game Pass Extra is $100 annually. That is 44% cheaper than monthly. It would be $180 if you paid monthly. It is discounted $80 for their Game Pass equivalent. Their Essential is the same as Core. However, Sony's Essential, you had the PlayStation Plus collection if you got that. But now you get 3 or so games, and even you get new day one games they have launched in Essential as well, right? They put some day one games in there too, some day one indie games they put. What game? Oh, they put the other game in there. What is it? Destruction All Stars launched in PlayStation Essential, PlayStation Plus. They did that one. They've done some day one games in there, but you get new ones. No, there is day one on PlayStation Plus. There is. See, so that's the problem that people think. Like, they go, well, there's no day one on PlayStation. Yeah. There is PlayStation day one.
They don't do their first party day.
They don't do their first party.
Right.
Yeah. You're right. They don't do their first party day one, but they do day one games. They have that little stamp on there, day one. They did it with Stray. That was day one. They did it with a couple. They did it with Destruction All Stars. They've done it with games. They have done day one games in their service. So you're right. No day one first party games. But how many day one first party games did Microsoft release in 2022?
Wait, did they? Zero.
Zero. Pentiment.
Oh yeah.
I got Pentiment out there.
All right.
So you got
That's
one.
True.
And that's the problem.
Yeah,
and how
really
many and another thing, how many day one games they're releasing this year? How many? Forza, Starfield, Redfall, and Hi-Fi Rush. Those are their first party day one games. So Sony don't do day one first party, but Microsoft did 1 last year and 4 this year. Yeah, I'm going to say Starfield, yeah, that's a big, but I'm just saying, like, don't act like it's 1 a month, though. Microsoft's not dropping day one games left and right here from their first party. That's the biggest problem, because that was the big sell, and a lot of it is they do have Focus Entertainment day one games and things like that. But if you say day one first party games and look, Sony don't do them, but Microsoft's doing them, it's like, oh yeah, okay. Well, you got 1 last year, 1 or 2. You got 4 this year, Forza. The year before you had Halo Story, a Psychonauts 2, Flight Simulator. Yeah. You could count them on one hand, really. So, like, it's something, but it's not, like, huge, like, very like, craziness on that one. But it is a difference, definitely. But Sony does do day one. So people say Sony do day one. There's day one indie games and games that they do in there. But then you got to look at the cost. It's $180. It's $100 annually. Where are the annual deals for Game Pass? Like, I just don't understand. That seems like a head scratcher for me. If they want people to stay subscribed, why wouldn't you lock them in for a year? And I know a lot of them stacked, but when you look at this, and even look at Premium, which that's a tier that Sony really needs to, they're putting Twisted Metal in there now. They added trials of games that are pretty cool. They still need to do more classics, I think, for Premium to really take off.
That shit, all this service shit is dog shit.
I
know. But Microsoft, I don't know. Maybe they just aren't interested in. They prefer you to just pay monthly.
Yeah, maybe, because that encourages you to jump on and jump off on that stuff. And again, I agree. Right. Like, this service stuff, that's why I and I always looked at it like this, because I had it with PlayStation Now. I always thought, like, with these services, they're good supplementals to get games. Like, I had Turtles on Steam. I didn't have it on PlayStation because I wanted to play it on my Steam Deck and stuff like that. And I wanted to get something for my Steam Deck. So I got Turtles on there. But it's nice. Oh, wow, it showed up in the service. That's cool. There's a couple of games that I'll play. It's not like I'm on my whole library. I'm playing all these older games. But it's good for, like, when you're trying to find something, especially when you have the kids and stuff. You want to, like, hey, they threw the Paw Patrol in there, the Peppa Pigs. They threw some things in there, and it's like, some cool games or games you wanted to try out or you missed or something like that. It's a good supplemental. And when you look at the year, it's like, $100 for a year. It's like, okay, you know what? That's the price of a special edition for a game. But when you start looking at the monthly cost and Microsoft not offering a year, you're looking at $180 to possibly $216 for their Ultimate,
Like, you're looking at those kind of prices, like $17. Well, actually, they're $17 a month. So they're, what the hell is that? Is that like a 200? No, was that more than that? What the hell is that one? Well, $10 is $10 is 120. Then 15 is that, because I think it's around the same price, 17. So it's like that's a lot of freaking money a year to drop on games that it's like you don't know what you're getting. And then to have them delay games on top of that, because they've been doing that for the last 3 years. Microsoft has not been very reliable. And yeah, you could say COVID and all this other stuff, but they haven't been very reliable in keeping that cadence. To say, hey, I'm signing up for a year. You're better off jumping on and jumping off when you want. And that's why Xbox Live, the online requirement, was the lifeblood. And I thought they would really embrace that, because you need that to stay connected, to stay online. And I guess that's what they're using Core and Ultimate for, to leverage that stuff. But that console one really is like legacy. That thing they really needed a sorting out of stuff. You know, I thought they would just say the day one games in their own tier. But I guess they don't want to do that because they need to make sure that they don't want to kind of isolate that, because they need to make their money back, I guess, on subscribers. But this is a lineup here, and I have to say, like, the thing is Essential for $60 a year. And what's crazy is that Sony even puts these on here. They just were on sale last month. I got Premium 119. I got it for $84. And you could stack them. So I bought like a year for next year, and I have ones for 2 years for $84 and they'll do it again if you missed it. Last month they do it during days of play. They discount their annual prices. And you get Premium for $84. So if you don't want to pay $120 for it, you get it during July, or they'll do it again probably around Black Friday. So paying less for service with less benefits, dude. What? I don't know what Aaron's talking about. He says guys are happy to pay more money. Yeah, sorry, Link. What's up?
Wait, what is he? Wait, read what he said.
He says you guys are happy to pay more for games, but brag about paying less for a service with less benefits.
More for games? What's he
paying
talking
more
about?
for games? What are you talking about, dude?
I don't know. I don't know. He must be
like I don't know. I don't know to play more for games. You mean like what? We're talking about $70 games now? I hope you don't know. I hope you don't talking about. And you want to know what, Aaron? I'll tell you something else. EA Play. It's $30 a year. So, Premium, let's do the math. $120, $30 for EA Access, right? That's $150 for Premium on PlayStation. Guess what? It's still cheaper than Ultimate. Oh, let's do some math. Yeah. So you could still get EA Play, and Premium for cheaper than a year of Ultimate. And you can say, well, Ultimate includes cloud and PC. Well, if you have PC gaming, you might as well just get the PC one because you got free online there. And you want to play with strap-ons on phones. Phil says that that market doesn't want to play console games. He said they didn't grow the market with xCloud on a phone. So nobody wants to play big games on a phone screen. So that's a scratch off for cloud games. And if you have a PC, you might as well just get PC Game Pass. Why pay for Ultimate? You're paying $7 extra for what? Right, Link? If you have a PC, why would you pay for Ultimate? And you're paying $7 to play it on an Xbox, really? Because you would save $7 a month and just pay for PC. Why would you pay $7 extra? You're going to play on streaming when you're playing on a PC? I don't know. But I think they needed to revamp this. I don't think this is really good. I think they needed to clean this up a little bit. And that's why I said it was one of my predictions. I said that they should have cleaned this up. But I still think the PlayStation 1... And the biggest thing here is, like, again, it's the Game Pass stuff. Like, it's really... Microsoft, this is their lifeblood. This is why they're spending $77 billion is for this, and it still looks mishmash. Having a tier in there that doesn't include online play for your console when it's required. Over 300 games in Game Pass, and there's a bunch of them you can't play. And you're paying $11 a month. What a shock that would be. And what would be your situation? Uh-oh. I got to upgrade to Ultimate now from console Game Pass. It's weird. Oh, my God. There are day one games in PlayStation Plus. True Virgil, get the Herman's things out of your mouth. There, I just said it. But yeah, you like Game Pass, do it all it is. Hey, love it. The problem I have with Game Pass is that it is all Microsoft wants to do. Game Pass as a supplemental service, fine. But when they're taking games that we play, that we buy, annual games like Call of Duties and stuff like that, or they're taking games from Bethesda and they're making these games knowing that their destination is Game Pass, those games will be adjusted accordingly. And that's the problem I have with Game Pass. The service is fine.
Yo, that's what I was saying, Jizz.
Yeah.
Right now, these games are being made to still be sold at retail.
Correct.
But when these actual Game Pass games start coming out, they're not going to be the type of games people think they are.
Nope. They think people are like, oh, well, they're going to spend. You think after they spend $70 billion, you think they're going to drop like a $400 million budget on their next games for them? No, dude. That's the whole reason why they're spending the money up front, is so they could control the budget and everything to be tailored to fit the Game Pass to make their money back. That's why they're buying publishers. The reason why they're buying a publisher is so they can control everything. Dude, look what they did with Halo. They got a bunch of contractors, like all they basically did not use people they put contractors in there that came in and did this and left and then this, and it was all this. It was all ways to cut costs, all ways to just work. Like, yes, I know we work with contractors, but they were just doing this stuff to probably cut costs or whatever the hell they're trying to do. And that's what they're going to do now with the Activision stuff. And that's what they're doing the Bethesda stuff. Starfield is coming in. That was already in development, dude. That was already in development. Microsoft kind of just paid for the rest of it and this thing. But when you get games starting from day one that are being built with the Game Pass destination in mind, that's where the problem comes. Because you see, Microsoft's not using Game Pass as an alternative. That is everything to them. And they went all in on this thing too early. And now you guys think that you're going to get these games. Like, hello, if history hasn't proven itself already, look at what Halo Infinite turned into. Look at what Redfall was. You think Redfall would have released like that if it wasn't for Game Pass? Like, you really think? You think Halo would have released like that? Was sorry after a year with missing features and stuff like that and still not getting there? No single-player content? Like, no extra anything. Even look at what Forza's turned into. Who knows what the hell that's going to be with their service in Forza. Services within a service. The games are being built for this. That's the problem. PlayStation, they're not doing that. They're still doing games to sell. But you can't make a game to sell and also be part of a subscription day one. The movie industry is seeing that right now. Look at all the movies that are coming out of the service. I remember people going crazy. Look, HBO Max, put Mortal Kombat in there. Look, HBO believes in services. They don't want it anymore.
I'm glad you brought this up, man.
You're my number one customer.
Expand on this, what you just brought up.
Man.
So I went to go see Mission Impossible.
I got to watch that.
Dead Reckoning. I don't remember that. The movie was phenomenal. The movie is awesome, right? But I was watching, you sit and you watch the trailers before the films, right?
Yep.
I saw 2 films that are coming to theaters first that were Apple TV Plus movies. And one of them was this Martin Scorsese new movie is going to be theatrical release first. And it will go to the Apple TV Plus later. They have 2 films that are coming to theaters this year that are theatrical releases only. They have dedicated $1 billion a year annually to release movies in theaters first. because Apple did a study, and what they found is that there's much more engagement with their streaming platform if the movie is a theatrical release that comes to the streaming platform later, and they can make more revenue. Right? It's the waterfall effect, right?
Yep,
the trickle down effect, right?
Trickle down, yeah.
So
waterfall, yeah.
Disney's CEO recently, I think it's Bob Iger or whatever.
Yep.
Said
They're a mess
that,
right now, Disney.
Oh man! So they asked him, why are some of their projects not doing good? Right? You know what he said? Brand dilution, right?
Yep.
You know why?
Because of the service.
The last 3 Pixar movies went straight to Disney Plus, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Pixar was very pissed off when Disney did this to them with their films, putting them straight on Disney Plus, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now you got users accustomed to going home and watching these films. They put out a movie called Elemental. It bombed. It bombed really bad. He said the reason why is because they were putting all the Pixar films on Disney Plus, and then they went back, tried to do a theatrical release, and people didn't want to go to the theater. Mm-hmm. Also, one more thing. What did he say about their Marvel franchises? Saturation. Too many Disney Plus shows. Too much. He said we put out too much stuff on streaming.
Yep.
It's getting people accustomed to watching the shit at home instead of going to the theater. So they're cutting back on what they're putting on their streaming platform, and they're going exclusively for their big projects back to the theater. So these companies, another company, Amazon, right? Mm-hmm. They purchased a company called MGM. Amazon has also dedicated $1 billion annually to put their big blockbuster films on the big screen first, and they will come to the streaming platform later. So these companies are realizing that this race to build this big streaming platform, these companies have hundreds of millions of subscribers and they're still not generating any money. And then on top of that, by them focusing so much on putting their IP on the streaming platforms, is hurting the theatrical releases because it's getting people accustomed to watching it on their television at home instead of going to the theater. So they're pivoting. These companies are making a major pivot.
Yes.
They got the writer strike and all that stuff going on right now, but these companies are seeing, these big film companies are seeing that this streaming shit, this is not, the money is just not there.
Yeah, look at Guardians of the Galaxy. Great points, because Guardians of the Galaxy has not have any release date for Disney Plus. Like, you can't find it. They said, and even what's his name? Tim. Gunn just said, oh, he did, because a couple of days ago he was like,
put out a trailer today.
When's it coming?
Hold on, let me look it up. I saw that they were about to debut a trailer for.
Because you couldn't even rent it; you had to buy it on digital. I had bought it. You had to buy it because you couldn't rent it at all, and they weren't telling you when it's coming to Disney Plus. Same thing with us. They're realizing that they need people in the theaters because that's where they make the money. That's where you get
July's. Wait, hold on. No, it said hold on. August 2nd. They told us today, August 2nd.
All right.
Mm-hmm. But you see how they're doing it, right?
Yeah.
They are. You can't spend all this money, right?
Yep.
And then just throw it on the streaming platform.
You can't.
It's not generating. There's only so many people that are going to subscribe to a platform. If you got over almost 200 million subscribers and you're not generating a profit, then there's something wrong with the business model.
Yeah.
And the theatrical release is where you're going to make your money first. You put the project in the theater, you make what you can there, and then you throw it on the streaming platform later.
And we've seen it. We've seen it like since Game Pass has come out since 2017. Mm-hmm. What memorable games has Microsoft released? Like, even you can say, well, Sea of Thieves has been a success. Dude, Sea of Thieves took almost 7 years to get to where it is now. Sea of Thieves came out with 3 mission types. That one at $60. Halo Infinite came out at $60 with missing co-op. Like, look at their games that have been released. The only one that stood up to quality and really didn't do much, though, otherwise, innovatively, has been Forza Horizon 4 and 5.
What about okay, let me ask you a question, right? Now I know Microsoft promised this feature Does Halo Infinite have mission select yet? Because I haven't played the
They
game.
did. They added that with
season. Did they finally add that?
Season 2 when they added co-op because they didn't have co-op in there. But like that's when they added it over a year later. Let me get so many super chats and questions here. There we go here. JX Gaming, he goes, how long before this blows up and Microsoft's face and people from Activision start abandoning the company? Xbox wants this so they reap what they sow. Starfield looked horrible, not a good look. Yeah, to address that, I think that we'll probably, you got to remember, Microsoft just promised that all the Call of Duties have to go on the Switch. So, yeah, that's extra work for all those guys, and who knows what that's going to mean for Call of Duty moving forward, or feature parity across all the whole board. Will they just do streaming? Who knows? That's the craziest thing, and we'll talk about that as one of the final topics, is what's the future look like for this. But yeah, Microsoft has yet to prove, and we're not saying that they can't do it. They haven't been doing it. Phil's come on and said they haven't done it. Their first party has been a mess. This Game Pass, I felt like, has been a huge distraction for them, and it seems like this is what their future is going to be. And the Game Pass hasn't been what it was promised to be. Like, it was all these big games. Like, you look at what they used to do for holiday lineups. Dude, they went since Game Pass launched, they went 2 whole goddamn years with no games. 2020 launched a whole console without a Halo, without anything. They reached it with nothing. Then, that'll never happen again. Look at last year. It happened again. Nothing to say for at the Game Awards. Nothing. And then look, they spent $7 billion. If they didn't spend $7 billion, what will you be looking at this year? Forza? That's it. Where are their games? That's what you gotta say. Like, what if they didn't buy Bethesda, what would this year be? Those games are supposed to come out last year. What happened to the games releasing this year? Like, people never answer me that question.
Huh.
Redfall and Starfield was supposed to be out last summer.
They were delayed a whole year, yeah.
They were delayed a whole year to this year. And then they got delayed out of the first 6 months. Remember everybody saying, like, oh, Starfield's coming out in March. Then Starfield was a no-show in January. Now Starfield was coming out. Oh, now it's coming out in September. What happened to the games slated for this year? Shouldn't we be getting double this year since we got nothing last year? Shouldn't it be, oh, well, we got Redfall, we got Starfield, and Hellblade, and Avowed. Everything should be coming out this year. You got so many studios, so many games. What happened to this year? This year is last year delayed. And it got delayed. If that's not a product of this subscription service and Game Pass, then tell me what is.
Because think about it, right? Think about it, Jess. While these games are continuously being delayed, people are still paying a monthly subscription.
Yes.
Right? You're still giving them money. So, like, I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were bragging about how they have Game Pass paid up until, I don't know, 2025 or 2020, something, and how they had already paid up for their subscription or whatever or something. I was like, why would you be bragging about giving your money to a company who so far has not delivered on any of the promises that they've made, and you just blindly gave them 3 years worth of Game Pass for what exactly?
Yeah, right.
So I mean, like, it would be different if they had been delivering on these AAA releases, like they said they were going to have these day and date first party big blockbuster titles that they claim were going to be in there. You would think, okay, I get it, but they haven't been delivering.
No.
So,
and they admitted that. That's them admitting they suck. Like, they like we're not good. So, like, that's the problem that I have with Xbox. Like, it's just if Game Pass is not a result of what their output is right now. Hell, Game Pass is making them buy up these publishers. Like, everybody's like, we got Call of Duty. I'm like, you were always gonna get Call of Duty. You're always getting it. Like, you were always getting Call of Duty. $70 billion for games that you already were going to get. I don't get it. And Ryan Lance has a question. You have $10. Thank you, Ryan. Yeah. He goes, 3 questions. Is your backlog larger than the amount of games on Game Pass? Pretty much, right? Yeah. Would you?
I mean, you got people rejoicing about this deal like something's changed.
I know. Well,
You
yeah,
know?
I'll talk about it. We'll do it. That's the next thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say your backlog is larger than games in Game Pass, and the problem with Game Pass is if you look through it, like I have it. It came with my Alley for 3 months. I've been going through it, and again, like I'm playing Atomic Heart on there, and I'm like, yeah, it's all right. Like I played Gears Hive Busters, that was good. Like there's things in there, but again, it's nothing where it's like these are just incredible games because the problem is Microsoft. This is the thing. Microsoft hasn't released quality games to even put in a service. See, that's the problem that you don't get. See, that's where when you look at PlayStation Plus, Sony's able to now put Ratchet and Clank. They could put Horizon Forbidden West in there. They could put God of War Ragnarok in there. They could put Last of Us Part 1. They could put Last of Us 2 in there. Because they've been making games that are worth a damn, and now they could leverage them in their service. So when you look at their service, you're like, whoa, these are a lot of quality games in here. Yes, you probably played them already, but if you're looking at services face value, Microsoft is barren. Those are old-ass Gears 4, Gears 5. Like, dude, what are we, like, those Gears 5, you can't even find the match. I didn't go start. It took forever in Gears 5 for loading the map. Like, they haven't released a lot of games.
Whatever your name is,
they went like 2 and 3 years. They went 2 and 3 years without games. A whole year. What are they leveraging in their service? That's why Sony is able to sell their game, put it on sale, don't have to build the game for a subscription service. They build the game to sell the goddamn game. You build the movie like Tom Cruise, jumping off of goddamn helicopters and jumping down off parachuting. You make it for the big screen. You make your money. We pay because we want to see it. We want that quality. We want that experience. And then put it in on DVD. But then do it. There's no harm. There's nothing wrong with that. Wait for sale. If you don't want to spend $70, then don't. Wait for it. Fine. But would you rather do that than get a game that's knowing that it's launching in a subscription service where people are paying $15 a month and it is going to be built accordingly? Episodic. Missing stuff. We're sorry. 60 frames is coming later in a patch. That's all we've been seeing. And until they prove me wrong and show me that they can release a consistent quality games that I'm like, wow, this would have been $70. I can't believe this is in Game Pass. They need a bunch of those. And we've been waiting since 2017. Like, this didn't just start up January of this year. This has been going on for 5 years right now. And we still, we hearing all the excuses and Phil Spencer crying. I'm sorry, I take it on the chin. Oh, what a great guy. He takes it on the chin. He been taking it on the chin. 2019, our first party's not good. We need quality. And then proceeds to show Craig later that year, and then a year later, delays Halo. That whole team is gutted. And then says, oh, we want to buy Bethesda. We're going to make Bethesda better. Yay. Here's Redfall. I'm sorry, took it on the chin. And now Starfield looking shady as hell with its PC specs. Let's see what this game runs out at 30 frames on console. Most powerful console in the world. 30 frames. Can't wait. Second class citizens, the Xbox right there. More Wasaris. So tell me, Game Pass is great. I'd rather say, give me a game that I know what I'm getting my value for, and then put it in sale for people that don't want to pay that much, and then put it in a service for people that are not interested later on. But you always see these same people going, I'll just check it out in Game Pass. Check it out.
That's what they say.
That's it. I'll check it out in Game Pass.
Because you never wanted to buy these games.
Yeah, there you go. Ching, ching, ching. There you go. That's the problem. And why didn't you want to buy it? Because Microsoft didn't have confidence in what they showed. Microsoft didn't show the game well. The game doesn't look that appealing. I'll check it out in Game Pass. Well, that's perfect for you. Sample games because Microsoft didn't do their job to sell you that game. See, that's the thing I always say. It's not anyone's fault here. Like, it's fanboys and all this other trash and all this other crap. It's not our fault. It's the company's fault. Their job is to sell their games, to market their games to us, to make us want it. And if they can't do that, that's on them. That's not on us.
As Microsoft continues to gobble everything up and grow this Game Pass library, right? What benefit is it to publishers as this library continues to grow and they keep putting more and more stuff on it. I mean, what's the incentive for people to even be buying stuff over there? You know,
that's right.
I mean,
and it's going to flood a lot of noise. Put a lot of noise in there too.
Right.
Like all those indies and shit. Like, you know, all those indies and stuff, dude. Like, what they're going to do? Right. Like, there's going to be a lot of noise in there. It's going to be. That's why I thought they would separate the tiers out. To like, you know, maybe like it's going to be hard if you're a little indie game going in Game Pass where you need that exposure and they're going to slap a Call of Duty in there at a Starfield. And it's like, yeah, the little guy's not going to get recognized right now. Right. You know what I mean? Like they're going to have to balance that. That's why, you know, I thought that they would separate their tiers better. But again, and then here, this is the last thing I'll say before we move on. Well, let me finish up Ryan's questions. Would you rather rent a specific game or games in bulk? Rent a specific game or games in bulk? I would probably rent a game that I know I want to play or get a game that I want to play. That's the thing. Like having a wall of 300 games and me having to click through them all to figure out what I want to do, like I don't have time for that right now.
This is the problem with subscription gaming, right? You continuously have to pay forever.
Yes.
Because you don't own anything, right? Those libraries of games that they build it, you don't own those games. Those aren't your games.
Yeah.
So the minute your Game Pass subscription runs out, you don't want to pay for it anymore. You have access to 0 games, right? So you really don't realize it. If this is, I can understand like having a subscription to supplement your gaming needs, but for that to be the only way you consume, supplement, right? But if you're using a service to only play games that are in that service, then you're being bamboozled, and this is what people don't realize. Like
you're right.
Game Pass shit is not. It's not.
And you're right. Like the thing is, it's not the thing that I have an issue with is that it's not the person that chooses to see what people do. And this, I see this so much, is that people take offense. Like, well, if I like getting games for a discount and getting in a service, why you complain about that? And the thing is that it's not you. It's not the person that wants to use this as a way of playing games. The problem is them, the corporation that is going to make the games, all their games. See, that's the problem. Microsoft is putting everything. Now they're buying whole-ass publishers to put games in the service because nobody wants to do it because they know the compromises they will have to make financially and probably development-wise to put a game in a subscription service and then getting their money back. That's the problem I have, is the development and the types of games that will be built, knowing they'll be built for a subscription service and not for a point-of-sale game. Just like a movie theater game versus a direct-to-DVD. I don't want everything to be direct-to-DVD. I don't want everything to be direct-to-streaming because you know what kind of movies those are. You want the theaters for those times where it's, hey, I'm going to go spend that money and have that experience and call it worth. That's what I want to do. Go watch that Mission Impossible. You got to have options. But when you have everything coming directly to you in a streaming service, those games will be built for that service. So as an end user, we're not going to get the games that we used to get. And Microsoft has went all in on this one way, funnel everything down this path. And it didn't work for them, just like I said it wasn't going to work with the stupid mobile gaming. Oh, well, Game Pass and subscription gaming and cloud streaming. Everybody could play now. Little Timmy with the strap-on phone over where you don't get 4G Wi-Fi over at McDonald's. Yeah, there he is. Fry oil powering his internet. The little Timmy don't care. Because little Timmy's playing mobile games. He don't want to play Gears 5 with a $70, $90, $100 Rikishi strap-on. And then paying a $16, $17 a month subscription with a $100 strap-on controller on his phone. That sounds like pretty invasive to me. That sounds like a lot of money to spend for somebody that you're going to play console games and not go buy a console, but you can go spend $17 a month in subscriptions and $100 for a strap-on for the phone. Phil said it under oath. We did not grow the mobile gaming like we wanted to because people do not want to play on a phone console games. I told you that before the dope said it. And meanwhile, you got all these guys standing with a Cat 5 cable shoved up their ass
going, oh, this streaming is wonderful for me. Goddamn router is like sticking out of his head. No, dude, nobody wants to do that. And all they did was take the dudes that were playing on console and said, go play your games on phone while you're away from your console. It didn't grow the market. It didn't recruit new people because guess what? All that effort for 2 billion gamers, I said it before that I started this channel. 2 billion people don't give a shit about you. They don't give a shit about Xbox. They don't care about your games. They will never will unless you make something that people want to play. And that's going to be a tough order because you haven't even made stuff that people that you know that come to your fan fest that want to play. So Game Pass may be great for the user, but think about it. You know, you keep dropping by those free samples. You keep eating those free samples. Well, guess what's going to happen? You're going to have to go take a shit because that is some low-quality food they're giving you. They're giving it to you for free. All right? So keep eating those free samples. That's not high-quality chicken. It's probably the pigeon from the back of the goddamn store. Keep eating those free samples of chicken they're giving. They're giving it to you because they know it's pigeons. They know it's cheap-ass food they're giving you right now. You think they're standing out there with goddamn flaming neon medallions giving them for free? No. They're giving you a nice Montezuma's Revenge chicken right now for free. Come on. It's consumerism. Don't want you... This is all free? Really? All this is free? There's always a catch, everybody. So stop acting ignorant and thinking like, wow, this feels so nice. Remember, consumer friendly. Dude, look at this thing right here. This don't look too consumer friendly to me. It looks like Phil wants to make a buck. And then the last question here, Ryan.
They don't realize this is going to keep going up. The price going to
just increase the price. Remember? We're not increasing our price, $70 games. We're keeping everything nice and cheap. Sony's expensive. That's right, Enrique. It's a rat burger. And then the final question from Ryan here. If Game Pass had every game on the planet, would you want the service then? No. For that reason I just said. Because every game, like, if the games were being built for the service, I don't want that. I want to have options. I want games that are quality, that are built for a purchase and not built for a rental, not built for a subscription, because those games will be adjusted accordingly, budget-wise, thing-wise. I even said it. Let's see what happens with
All
Call
I
of
gotta
Duty.
say, look, Jess, look at Halo. Their flagship.
Yeah,
not a
look,
flagship
there you
anymore.
go. I got
their
facts. We got
franchise,
evidence.
right?
Yes.
Look at this. Do you think if they
Flagship.
really were dependent on Halo to sell at a retail price to make back their money, they would have put it out like that, incomplete like that? They wouldn't have.
Same
No
thing with
company's
Redfall.
going to do that.
$70 for Redfall. You think they were serious about selling that game for $70?
No.
They wouldn't have released it like that.
They put a sticker on the box promising 60 frames per second later, even though it's printed on the box.
When?
The game wasn't finished.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, when? When's
Yeah,
that
the
60
game-
frames coming? True Virgil, tell me. True Virgil
That
says
game
just
wasn't
wait.
finished. But they hadn't put anything out, so they didn't have a choice but to release it. They couldn't delay it again. And because it's on Game Pass,
That's right.
because it's on Game Pass, people are going to make an excuse like, well, you didn't have to buy it. You know?
Yeah, right. And that's the thing. And a lot of that came out when, Redfall came out. That like Game Pass seems to be like the graveyard for games. Like, hey, they don't have confidence. They just dump it out there. We're sorry, and let's go say a bunch of apologies. And that's what happens. So like, you cannot have Game Pass to be the safety net for failure. They need to have Starfield is not the core level gaming light. No, these are your games. Like, these are the games right here. They're not putting new day one games in core at all. And that's right. Game NX, like, you look at more, like, more time searching for a game, like, discover something new. Like, there are benefits to subscription gaming. Like, I'm not saying hell to subscription gaming, but as a supplement, you need to have, there's a reason why there's fast food. There's a reason why there's fancy restaurants. There's a reason why there's chain restaurants. There has to be a choice.
Nobody's going to eat McDonald's every day.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You can't do that.
You can't say, oh, well, it's cheap. That's why I like it. That's all I eat is cheap. You eat McDonald's every day. Like, I don't understand it. You got to have some options. And if you think you're going to get Gordon Ramsay steaks coming in at McDonald's prices, then you're that's what people are sitting there like, oh yeah, Microsoft's gonna make they're gonna make the best games ever. 7 years to build a game just to put it in Game Pass. Yeah, right, my ass. It took 6 years for Halo and still missing features after a delay. Don't tell me it takes 5 years to make great games because they're not doing it. Perfect help.
Last thing I'm gonna say. This is the last thing I'm gonna say about this dumbass Game Pass shit because I don't care.
God.
But the while you continuously wait and tell people to wait, right? Microsoft tells people to wait. The fan base keeps telling people just wait. Games are coming. That Game Pass bill is still coming due.
Oh yeah, Phil's
collecting. While you give them now $17 a month with no games, that they're making money. They are making money.
They are.
Yeah, they are.
That's what I mean. Like they want you in that service, and they know as soon as you stop paying. You know what? It's funny because it's almost like a lease car. Like it's a leased car. Like you get in a lease, you're driving a great car for 3 years, and then all of a sudden they know you're coming back in 3 years to get a new car because you don't have a car.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So you get dependent on the rental. You can't just be like, hey, you know what? I'm stop paying my lease. I'm done. Well, guess what? You're walking. You know, they know that. The car goes back. You're done. Okay, you're done with your lease. Okay, good. That's the same thing with Ultimate. You're like, hey, you know what? I'm not paying this month. Well, guess what? Your whole library just went to zero. Unless you bought some games, and now you're double dipping.
You don't build. You aren't building any goodwill by paying that Game Pass bill every month.
But but Link, the problem is that Game Pass bill that is a significant bill a year, like $17 a month. That's like and again they just canceled the family plan. That was a pilot. That family plan, which was supposed to be $25 or $26 a month, that is one account.
Oh, they canceled it?
Yeah, they canceled the pilot. They're done. They ended the pilot, so that's not.
I mean, is it going to go into effect? Or
no, they just stopped the pilot. It was a pilot. They just stopped it.
Interesting.
But $17 a month for one account for that it's a lot of money a month for you to be like, hey, you know what? Like it is a lot. You would expect at least like a $60, $70 game to drop in that service at least once a month. And they're not really that consistent. And again, you have no clue. They don't give you a proper roadmap until the last minute and then delay it. And that costs you money if you locked in. There was a lot of people that had Starfield ready to go, subscribe for February, and Starfield just got pushed out to September. It's like, okay, well, they're not giving their money back. So, you know, the other thing I want to say, I'll read JX Gaming, and the last thing I want to say on this whole thing is the dates right here. JX Gaming says, look at the Xbox in chat trying to damage control. It's hilarious. They've got nothing to do on Xbox, so they invade podcasts, and other gamers look like it. Hey, don't worry, JX Gaming. We got the song for them. We got them. They just want to flex their tattoos that they got at FanFest.
Sign me, please. I will bend over and touch. My knees tell me it.
We got them.
When we all play the make exclusive games and like.
They gotta show their tattoos. They gotta show, and they play their flute. They gotta show their tattoos. They got their tattoos. They got their ass on by Phil. They gotta represent. So sorry, that's what's going on. JX Gaming. Don't get confused. They just represent it. And you know, True Virgil, we know where he is.
Can you goggle my balls? Goggle my balls.
And so the last thing I'm going to say about this goddamn Game Pass core is that I'm going to say right here, look at the date. Ooh, September 14th. Link, here we go. Grinds Adamus. Come into my, look into my ball. Here it is. Grinds Adamus. Look at the date. Starfield launches right a week before that. Get ready. Grinds Adamus is telling you right now, October, when they do their financials, Stutter and Satya is going to get in there and say, I'm proud to say one thing. I'm proud to announce that our Game Pass subscribers have increased to 50 million with the success of Starfield and having 100 million people playing the game on day one. And we will all know right here is that
that will be because they have taken everybody that's on Xbox Live and overnight turned them into Game Pass subscribers. So, just letting you know that. Now, yes, Sony did this as well because they took a PlayStation Now subscribers and turned them into PlayStation Plus. So they were able to combine it. So Sony did this as well. But the main thing is that they're going to tie this in to Starfield. And people are like, look, $7 billion was worth it. They just brought in double the amount of Game Pass subscribers with Starfield. And we're going to know the reason why is because, yeah, I'm sure Starfield brought people in, but not double. Because they just converted everybody who's left on Xbox Live into Game Pass subscribers because there's no more Xbox Live. It's all Game Pass now. So, just see, I noticed the date is right near Starfield, so it's going to be, they're going to break out those numbers finally. But the Cookie Monster, Dustin Laguerre's, and all the other 3Cs out there will be believing that Starfield and the $7 billion bet doubled Game Pass subscribers from 29 million to like 55 million. And we'll have to come back here to the Grindhouse and smack some sense into them going, dude, they just took whoever's left on Xbox Live and turned it into Game Pass. So, but it just happens to be the same month of Starfield, really.
And you know what? Now they can say that this doesn't, when this goes in effect, they can tout Game Pass subscribers the numbers being way higher now because those gold members.
That's exactly the plan. That's exactly what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what they're doing because they're going to convert them.
I haven't paid. I don't know. When did my Game Pass run out? Was it last year? Or I don't even remember. It was this year. I don't remember. It ran out at some point, and I never renewed that. I don't have gold because I don't play anything online on the Xbox. I haven't. The last game I bought was Halo Infinite, unfortunately.
Oof.
So
oof.
Yeah, it's totally useless to me until they put. I don't need gold because I'm not going to play none of their multiplayer stuff. But and I have been paying for gold since the original Xbox. Mm-hmm. My subscription ran out, I want to say this year in January, February. I'm not giving them money anymore just to give it to them.
They don't release enough games. That's the problem. They don't release enough stuff to justify subscriptions.
I don't play a lot of multiplayer, and the few I do play, I play on PlayStation. They don't put out enough games to justify. They just don't.
No, and that's the problem. And that's the reason why I got rid of mine is because they don't release enough games to justify a subscription right now. So that's what I say. Like it's been I'm sorry's and stuff like that. And then on top, when they have a game, like even like Starfield, like I said on my show on Friday, I'm like, that's it. Everybody's seen enough. Like they're coming to Gamescom. Are they going to show a whole bunch more Starfield? They better. If they show the same crap that they showed a couple of months ago, like come on. When's the campaign start for Starfield? Like this is the biggest game they ever got since Halo. Like. Where's that campaign? Where's all this gameplay? Where's a whole combat? Where's a whole mission structure? Where's a whole walkthrough? When's that happen? The game releases in September. You got a month and a half.
Sony light this year on first party. They only really got Spider-Man and
Spider-Man 2.
Helldivers coming out this year. Really, yeah. Okay, but guess what they did? They made some deals and got some big third-party games.
Yeah.
Forspoken, whatever you think about it, doesn't matter. It's a big game. Like Final Fantasy 16, a big AAA game.
Mm-hmm. The Horizon DLC I thought was really good too.
So what I mean is they plan ahead to make sure that their customer base has games to buy. Microsoft, for some reason, has failed to be able to do that. For obvious reasons, I don't think they really want to make those kind of deals anymore. They're not.
Well, they don't because the problem is Game Pass.
Look at it. What they got going to Exo Primal.
Oh my God! I played. Oh, I forgot. I played that. Oh my God! Because I played that. That game is trash.
It's getting to the point where when you see a third-party game debuting on Game Pass, you are going to be
Dude, I got a
very,
song for that game.
cautious
Exo
about that
Primal.
game.
Dude, they're like Exo Primal. I'm like, I'm sitting here going, where's Resident Evil in Game Pass? Where's Hogwarts Legacy? Where's Street Fighter 6 in Game Pass? It's like, no, we give you Exo Primal. I got a song for that one. It's great on Twitter. Dude, that Exo Primal, Holy Spirit activate. My God. There you go. It doesn't even have reviews. This is what I mean. Like this game, Exo Primal from Capcom, who's having a banger year, they just put this on Game Pass with their services and again, it's a game built for a service. This is what I mean. Look at the games you're getting. See how you have choice that the link. Then bring it up. Now I'm going to go back to this whole thing. But this is exactly what it is. Look at what you get when you don't have to build it for the service or you don't building it for Game Pass. Look what you get. Resident Evil. You get on Street Fighter 6, Hogwarts Legacies. Here you go. Exo Primal. Yep. There it is. Battle passes and ass. That game is built for a subscription service and a service that it belongs on Game Pass. That's what Capcom gives Game Pass. And that's why Microsoft, when's the last time Microsoft has made an exclusive deal for a game and it did not involve Game Pass?
Well, Exo Primal clearly was Capcom's attempt at some kind of games as a service, and they saw that this game was going to flop. So they took the little Game Pass deal from Microsoft, whatever upfront money they got.
Oh, they mustn't make bank on that one because that game doesn't. For Link, it launched. It still don't have review scores on Metacritic. It has some user scores.
Yeah,
the
nobody's
game's
talking about it.
available on
Nobody's playing
cloud, PCs, game. Everybody has the game. This is what I mean. You talk Phil Spencer under oath in a shirt and tie, dressed up like just going like everybody plays, dude. Everybody has access to Exo Primal. There's not one goddamn review. Like, explain that to me. How does that work? Even the reviewers don't have access to it. Like, what's happening here? Everybody has the game. Right? Yeah. Finally. Look at this. Look at this. The game is everywhere. This is what I don't understand. Oh, when more people play, we all win. The game is everywhere. Why are there 4 people reviewing it on PlayStation 5? Let's see. Xbox Series X. There are 3 critics. They can't even they couldn't even, look at this. Series X reviews. They don't even have enough to average the shit. They got 3 reviews. 3! PlayStation 5 has more reviews and it's not even in Game Pass. PC got 3. What, like? Of course, True Virgil says that it's not a bad game. True Virgil, of course, it's not a bad game.
I don't know if it's bad, and I didn't play it.
No, it is bad. But True Virgil, he's a little busy right now. Hold on. He's a little busy. There you go, True Virgil.
You know what?
Clear it out.
Oh my God. Why did you don't have to cap for this stuff? Like you don't.
It's in
have
Game
to.
Pass, dude. You got to cap for it. Look at this. It's everywhere, dude. The game is out everywhere. It is on PC, cloud, Xbox consoles. How do they have 3 Metacritic reviews? There's more reviews on PlayStation where you actually have to pay for the shit. This is what I don't understand. Where all these guys come in there dressed in green with their goddamn Xbox pins, hugging, grabbing ass, and going like, when everybody plays, we all win. More people to play the games, dude. Nobody gives a shit. It doesn't matter where it is. It doesn't matter what it is. It matters that nobody cares. This game is on Game Pass. You got all these 30 million people have access to this game right goddamn now. And they got more user scores. Where are the reviewers? This is a reviewer's dream right now. They could pay a subscription price and get reviews on the game. Where is this? Battle Pass, so season 1. How? How do these games just drop on Game Pass with no goddamn reviews?
You want to know why? I'm going to tell you why. It's not that they're trash. It's because they don't need to sell the goddamn game. That's the problem, because the reviews are marketing. That's why there's embargo dates. That's why there's a review cycle, because they know that that's why there's pre-orders. That's why there is a whole different realm when you're trying to sell a game rather than dumping it into the ET hole of Game Pass. When you're dumping it into a service, you don't need to sell. Capcom's like, yep, we got the money from Microsoft. Shit, there you go. Let them figure out when they want to review it. We don't need to we don't care. But if you were trying to sell this product, you would have to have a special review cycle. You would have to make sure that the review, this exactly, dump it. Dump it, because you don't need to sell it. So sit there with your Game Pass crown on, loving the service, and still get this, because this is what you're gonna get. And you want everybody to be purchased and everything to go through this channel. That's where I have a problem. The game is available everywhere. More people to play the game. The game's available on everything. 30 million people have it. Where is it? Where are the screenshots? Where is it? It doesn't matter where it is. That's the problem. Putting Call of Duty on a Switch. That's good hocus pocus. But what does that amount to? What development time are you taking away from the real next-gen versions or current-gen versions of Call of Duty to put it on a Switch that maybe doesn't do anything? But there you go. More examples of that. And we have more examples of this than the other thing. The hopes and dreams that all these Game Pass these clowns think that they have. Oh, Game Pass is great. Yeah. There you go. There's more examples of this shit on this. Speaking of clowns, bending knees. Listen, Grindhouse Law is that concession. With the second part of this show, we're hitting up the Grindhouse Law. God damn it. Where is it? Order in court.
The two Utes.
Two what? What was that word? Two what?
What?
Did you say Ute?
Hit that like button, grinders. We got the Utes.
What is a Ute?
Oh, excuse me.
So everybody, the FTC lost the injunction. Judge Corley and her son voted the FTC cannot put a hold on this, and Microsoft could proceed with buying Activision. There was a parade in the streets. Xbox wins. FTC sucks. Celebratory podcasts. Slapping asses. Taking pictures. Dancing with Phil. The FTC did not win the injunction. Microsoft will proceed. They're coming with this deal. So it sounds like this deal is coming through. I talked about it on Friday. FTC is still taking it to court. Anyway, now what came out today was the CMA, now with them and their CTA trial. Now they are renegotiating the deal. There might be 2 months before they could do this. Listen, I said this before. The deal is going to go through because this is a desperate, rich company. And this is their mode. You see, there's no logic to this. They don't have a plan. When they signed this deal, when they made this deal a year and a half ago, nobody was calling up Nintendo and Nvidia saying we're going to put Call of Duty on your platform. He called up Sony. He didn't call up Nintendo. That was only a repercussion of the CMA's problems with what Microsoft was doing. Microsoft didn't have a plan. Microsoft never wanted to put this on a Switch. That wasn't the plan. They didn't want to put it on D's Nuts Cloud, which they still haven't done. D's Nuts. Black Nuts Cloud still is hanging out there shriveled up. Nobody cares about the Black Nuts. I don't understand it, but Black Nuts Cloud's getting the shaft. Pause. But they did put it on Boosteroid. Did they call up Boosteroid a year and a half ago? No. It was on the CMA's list. Microsoft was pandering to the regulators. They had no plan for this shit. Activision was caught grabbing ass, and Phil took the opportunity to jump over there. I remember the first 6 months saying how Phil was going to fix them from grabbing ass. And Bobby Kotick was a problem. He was voted out. He's still around, making money now. Smiling his ass with his goddamn Ronald McDonald haircut. Now, we sit here and we wait for Microsoft to make this purchase. But Microsoft didn't want more gamers to play Call of Duty. They want the Call of Duty for themselves. It wasn't until the regulatory agencies came in there. And one of them had a lot to say, and that was Jim Gordon Ramsay Ryan. Or Jim Jarrett, we call him here on the Grindhouse. He said the deal was raw. He came in there, Gordon Ramsay style. Phil was giving him 3 years.
Where's the lamb sauce?
And Jim Gordon Ramsay Ryan
It's raw, Melissa.
Yes, chef.
It's raw.
comes out there and goes, it's raw. They wanted to give them their Activision games until 2027. And Jim Ryan is like, excuse me, it's a raw deal. So now, the deal seems to be going through. And Phil Spencer now, after the Jim Ryan and the FTC gave him all that hoopla, the first thing Phil Ness does is give now Jim Ryan 10 years. The 10-year deal that he gave everybody else, and Jim Ryan and the Sony signs it. They said that Sony bent the knee. I didn't look at it that way. On the link, did you look at it that way? Did you look at like it was Sony who gave in? I didn't see it that way. It showed me.
Wait, this Sony gave in.
Yeah, you all the Sony bent the knee.
Microsoft. It was Microsoft versus all these regulators.
I know, but yeah.
I mean, Sony did sign the deal. I mean, because they make billions of dollars every year on Call of Duty. So of course they wanted, because they didn't have a choice.
That's exactly the thing. That was the point. The point is that this looked like it was a good deal, and now Sony doesn't have a choice. So
the original deal they offered was 3 years.
3 years, yeah.
But it was multiple Activision titles. It wasn't just Call of Duty. Now this deal is just for Call of Duty.
Well, what other Activision games have come out?
I mean, Activision Blizzard got a lot of IP. I mean, Diablo.
When was Diablo 3?
Huh?
What? If you're gonna give me 5 years of, are they gonna squeeze out Diablo 5 in 3 years?
They can have all that shit, man.
What I'm saying is, like, what games has? If somebody said 3 years of Activision games, all of them, I would be like, the only one that comes out every year is Call of Duty. Blizzard's not gonna pump out a Diablo 5 in 3 years, like. Therefore, that is a waste of a negotiation. Like, I don't give a shit about all the Activision games. Why would I care about that? Because I know that Blizzard is not going to come out with another game in 3 years, so they're not going to come out one. You're going to give me a Crash Bandicoot in 3 years? No, I'd rather have Call of Duty for 10. So that's a better deal than 3 years of all Activision games, because I can't even list what Activision games have come out in the last 3 years. Exactly. So if I said, Corey, hey, I want to give you all, you'll have all Activision games in 3 years. What are you going to get besides Call of Duty? What other games is Activision bringing out? You want Call of Duty for 10 years because you know that's an annual franchise. And that's the one that sells on Xbox. Diablo's on PlayStation. So it's a better deal getting 10 years of Call of Duty than 3 years of all Activision games. But the thing is, though, is that Jim Ryan, FTC, they gave Microsoft a lot of heat. And I thought, I was thinking, was that when everybody was signing these deals and Sony wasn't signing them, and there was an answer in Ronald McDonald's calls, they're not talking to Kodak and stuff like that, I was like, you know what? What's crazy is that if this deal goes through and Sony is just like, we're not signing it, which that's what it seemed like. It seemed like this deal was going to go through. regardless if Sony signed it or not, it wasn't a caveat. Nintendo signed, Nvidia signed. Everybody was fine with who they signed. They didn't need Sony to sign in order to prove their point. Even though then when Phil went on the oath and said it, FTC made him do it. But the thing is like initially, they didn't need to do it. And I thought that Sony will get left out in the cold. You know what I mean? Yeah, by the way, that's right, Josh. The last Activision game just came out in June. Anybody playing it? Anybody? In the chat, anybody playing it? The Activision game came out. You know, I'm seeing a lot of pictures. I'm seeing a lot of pictures of Welcome Home new mascot. Well, the mascot came out in June. Anybody? Can anybody know what it is? Shit, Link, you know what it was?
Wait, what?
Came out last month. June.
Diablo, right?
No.
No.
The mascot.
Wait, Activision?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Shh. It's the Xbox new mascot. Crash Battle came out.
Oh, Crash Battle.
Okay. Well, that came out. You know, everybody loves that Crash Bandicoot. I see them all over their Xbox logos. I don't know if anybody... Crash Team Rumble. There you go. They love themselves some Activision, don't they, over there? Aaron, you're playing it. It came out already, Aaron. Crash Team Rumble. Welcome home, they said. Come back to Crash Bandicoot coming to Xbox. There you go. He's there. You're playing Crash? Nah. Let's just put him next to an Xbox logo and put it on Twitter because we got some big Twitter balls, I guess. Because that's what it's all about. It's not about you even give a shit about these games. Care less. Care less, no. You just want it for Twitter. That's what you want. That's why you like go, Florian, explain to me, is this good or bad? Explain to me, Hose Law. Tell me, is this good or bad for Xbox? Was it good? Because I need to know to troll on Twitter. I need to know. Dude. Enjoy yourself. But there you go. So, I think it's a better deal. But I think it's kind of interesting. I thought what Sony could have been left out, right? And Microsoft could have just went ahead and just said, hey, Sony, hey, this is the deal, and we're not going to, 10 years you missed out on. When we were going around handing out 10-year coupons, you were not around, so you're going to get back to that 3-year deal. Instead, Phil gave him the 10-year deal. Good on Phil, I guess. But I think what you need to do is look at that it shows that Microsoft needs PlayStation more than Sony needs Xbox, right? Because Jim Ryan was out there fighting this thing. And all the shit that he put Phil through, I thought Phil was going to make him sweat it out. And he didn't. He went over there and gave him the 10 years. So I need to ask a question, everybody. What are you actually celebrating if the main game, that's $70 billion that you wanted to leverage in the battle against Sony, is still going to be on the platform for the next decade? How are you going to compete? I don't get it. I just don't understand it. You were getting Call of Duty anyway. And Call of Duty, the main thing that you were doing, Sony didn't have to pay an ounce. Didn't have to pay one single dollar. And Microsoft's paying $7 billion, and now it stays there for 10 years. And that's even if it's still relevant in 10 years. Who the hell knows? That's the worst part, is that we're going to have to sit here now and wonder what Microsoft's going to do to Call of Duty. Like if they couldn't handle the Halo crowd, get ready for the Call of Duty crowd and the expectations that come with that. And that's if your staff still sticks around and doesn't want to leave. But I just think it's kind of strange that, they gave him the 10-year deal. But, Jim Ryan did his thing, dude. He said 3 years was a raw deal. He held out. He said block the deal. And now they get it for 10 years, dude. That's a long goddamn time. And in that 10 years, they could do. They're still gonna be dominant with Call of Duty. How can Microsoft leverage this game? And is Microsoft gonna put the effort in that Activision was?
Who says Call of Duty's gonna even be in a dominant position?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. Is it? Who says that Microsoft? Like, who says that Microsoft doesn't just like phone it in? You know, like 4K updates to Minecraft or something. Who the hell knows? But Microsoft's job now it's a big job to keep Call of Duty relevant as the big holiday game, because guess what? Unfortunately, Warzone 2 is nowhere near the success of Warzone 1 at all. People hate that shit. So that whole
you don't
big
really hear people
service
talking
thing,
about it.
Yeah. They messed up with that one. And Call of Duty's not in the best situation. And this year, it's like some expansion pack to Call of Duty. First time ever. So they got an uphill battle with Call of Duty coming out in the next couple of years to really reestablish it, because as usual, Microsoft buys companies when they're at their lowest, and Activision's been pretty damn low. And again, they're gonna have to build this back up again. It's not like riding high Call of Duty. It sells, but I don't know, man. It comes out. We're gonna wait and see what the hell happens to Call of Duty, because I don't know what Microsoft's gonna do with it. Who the hell knows? And will Sony put it in their service? Because I think that's the worst thing Jim Ryan's gonna want. He's gonna say $70. Because I would love to know what the hell the deal was for that MLB The Show. I would love to know, because they still have not put MLB The Show in any Sony subscription service at all. They give you a trial, but they have not put that game in there, and that is a day one Game Pass game. So I don't know if Microsoft's spending the bank on that shit to get that in their Game Pass, but Sony still hasn't put it on there. So I don't know what the hell that deal is. And Sony must look at that and go, hey, if we're still selling MLB The Show and Microsoft's putting in Game Pass, like, maybe it's a ruse. I don't know. But Jim Ryan gave them gave him a hard time. And I was surprised how quickly they had Sony sign that deal. I thought they were going to make them sweat it out. But Phil needed PlayStation. So he needed them. That's how they're going to make their money back. They're not making it back on your Xbox, guys. You guys are sitting there going, I never liked Call of Duty, but I'll play it in Game Pass. That's a majority of you. That's what's hilarious. That's a majority of you. I don't care about Call of Duty, but I'll play it now. It's in Game Pass. We got Call of Duty in Game Pass 2 years from now. But you never cared about it. So what are you excited about? I don't know. It adds more value to my services. Dude, Call of Duty goes on sale like on Black Friday and for the holiday. You still don't buy it, but you're going to keep subscribing to play it. Man, disturbed people. But hey, it's your money. You be foolish with it. But I think that it shows that Microsoft and this is what I said before, the install base of PlayStation and Nintendo are so big. Microsoft needs them because their install base is small. Their Xbox is fading away. And they need Nintendo and Sony to carry what they're doing because they can't depend. Because if you remember, Link, remember when Phil was acting all coy after they purchased Bethesda? And he was like, well, Starfield, I don't have to put it on other places. We could probably make the money back just by putting it on PC and console. Remember he said that? With Starfield? When he was being all like slicks to Phil.
You're my number one customer.
Not when he was before regulators. No, he was being all cautious. But when he was slicks to Phil, when they were sitting around that circle jerk and stuff, then he's like, I don't really need to put it elsewhere. Like, we could be doing
You're
well.
my
with
number one
Starfield.
customer.
If Starfield was just on our console and PC, we could make the money, like the funding back. We're fine. I don't know. I remember saying that stuff. But again, it's really, it just, I think this is another thing. Here's a little like theory, and I'll get to the super chats. And like, tell me if you think this. I think that Jim Ryan didn't like the deal, right? He didn't like the 2-3 year deal. He had expectations. He didn't want the Sony fan base, the PlayStation players that play majority. They make 13% of or 10% of their revenue on it, on Call of Duty. They didn't want them to make it look like they're going to jump ship, right? But I'm wondering if Jim Ryan was kind of coerced by the regulatory agencies in a sense where it's like, well, you don't like it, Sony, so we're going to use your testimony in our cases. Like, we're going to use your statements as facts as to why we should block it. And Jim Ryan kind of had to ride that wave because the FTC, remember, they called him up to testify in his video. So I'm wondering if this was all another little like pop insert, like a little ruse by the regulatory agencies. I was just thinking that, like, imagine they said, "Hey, Sony, you're gonna be our key witness in why this is not a good deal," And Jim Ryan's like, "Okay, well, I want to block the deal," and then all, like, maybe it was definitely like a thing that they were trying to do. Kind of using him and his stuff as a sort of like evidence, because the FTC kind of used that and. They could have made other points, but right? And then you think, like, I don't know. What do people think? Like, do you think that? Like, it's like, hey, Jim Ryan, you're going to be our... like, I don't know, man. This shit was wild. But I don't know. I was just thinking that stuff. I was like, you know what? How crazy would that be? Oh, my God. True Virgil Gauguin. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was kind of strange that all of a sudden he had a change of heart. And he's like, yeah, 10 years sounds fine to me. But I guess he was pressured. There's nothing else to do, right? And that's the thing. Like, it's out of his... He would love the deal blocked and have to deal with this. But unfortunately, the way it was going, it was going to go through. And Phil went to him, said, hey, sign the 10-year deal. But I really think, like, I don't think it was Sony breaking down. Because if they broke down, then they would have done it before the FTC lost its case, and then it will like Sony gave in. But Sony held out, and then when it looked inevitable, Phil went over to him and said, here's 10 years. So it just showed that, Phil had to keep his under oath, but also Phil, they need PlayStation. That's where it sells. That's probably where they're going to make their most money back, is on the PlayStation, especially for the first couple of years. They're going to make it back on a PlayStation. They're not going to make it back on Xbox because nobody's buying it on Xbox. They're going to get it in Game Pass. He needs PlayStation. He needs PlayStation. He needs Nintendo. Microsoft needs Apple. They need Google. What they don't need is an Xbox. They don't need it. It's not making the money. It's not doing anything for them. It's powering their cloud. That's the only use for that hardware. The console space is done. There's no win in there. He said it. There's no money to be made there. PCs, that's where the growth is going to be. But they need Nintendo. They need Sony. That's where the games get sold. They need Google for their store. They need Apple for their store. Microsoft's a friggin' virus. They need their hosts. Because without them, they suck. Remember? And people are like, oh, Google and Apple and Amazon are the real competition. Oh, they're the real competition. The real competition. Oh, you wouldn't want Tencent to buy them. Tencent doesn't have a subscription service. Therefore, the game will not have to worry about being in a subscription. They're a third party. There's no harm, no foul if Tencent bought Activision. But the fact that Microsoft is buying these companies with the intent to throw them in a subscription service, that does not give me hope for all those games coming out that they're going to be the games we would have gotten without the service. And now we get to watch to see what happens. We get to see what happens to the Game Pass, what happens to the Call of Duty. Let me get to these super chats here. Link had to go. JX Game, and he goes, Jez, if you've seen the recent tweets about Halo and what's going on with that IP, why would you trust them with Call of Duty? Xbox are the poison of the gaming industry. Yeah, man, they destroyed Halo. I don't believe those rumors are true. I believe that the campaign is done with Halo. The fact that they didn't put it in their core service, the fact that Halo Infinite is not in there, but Halo 5 is, the one that everybody did not like, I guess. The Halo Infinite campaign is not in there. It's a testament to know what the hell that state of the game is in. And I wouldn't be, and they already said it. And that's another thing that they're doing. They're streamlining their studios to be consulting or overseeing. They're making their studios be like kind of just the confidant and basically observing other people make their games. And that's what they're going to do with Call of Duty. They're going to make, Halo. They're going to make other companies make Halo games, like their version of them, other directors and other things, and then they're going to bring games in Halo. You're going to get a bunch of fragmented, different visions of games. That's what's going to happen to Halo. 343 will just oversee the projects. That's what they're doing at the Initiative. You think the Initiative is doing it? The Initiative is overseeing Crystal Dynamics, making sure that they make a good, perfect dock. Oh, geez. And speaking of that, goes into the next super chat. Game Night chat today, 123. Game Night 123. How will Xbox manage 32 studios, assuming they get ABK, when they can't barely manage what they got now? Undead Labs, allegation of toxic workplace, brand new game in limbo, Fable, lead narrative. Yeah, the lead narrative left for Fable. Why are these people leaving while when these games get revealed or these games get shown, the head people leave? Drew Murray left after they showed Perfect Dark. Rod Ferguson left after they launched Gears. He had a whole movie and everything planned, Rod Ferguson. He left. Well, he's back now. Well, as part of Diablo team, though. I don't understand. The lead narrative left for Fable. Do you think that's when they need it now? But I don't think Microsoft is gonna. I don't think Microsoft is gonna manage them very well. I think they're gonna do the hands off, and they run them for a productive studio. I think they're just gonna. And again, because the thing is, Game Night is that they don't need to sell these games, so they could drop a Redfall. We're sorry. They could drop a Hi-Fi Rush. Hey, look at this stealth drop. They could be so liberal with their game releases because they don't need to sell these games because they're going into the service and hoping that the service subscriptions increase. I don't know. Booty's ass cheeks are going to be chapped. That's all I'm saying. Booty's ass cheeks are gonna have chapped ass. He's gonna have from running around to all these different studios. Tell them about scoping and scope it down and constraints. Come and walk it in with that booty.
I lied.
I came looking for booty.
And he comes over. He has a lot of coffee for Booty.
Oh, this coffee smells like shit.
It is shit, Austin.
Oh, good. Then it's not just me.
I don't know, man. Booty got a lot of coffees to deliver in. Hey, man, their management sucks. They don't know what the hell they're doing. Hands off, ass first development. That's what they do. I don't know what they're going to do. And that's the future. Like, what is the future? What happens to Xbox? What happens to PlayStation? You know, one of the things I did want to, a topic I wanted to say is like, what does this do for PlayStation? They got the 10 years of Call of Duty. Phil went over there, gave him the 10 years. What does PlayStation do now? And, I don't want anybody to take, I don't want, PlayStation fans to take this kind of the wrong way, because I think Sony has been doing stuff, definitely with the VR and definitely with Final Fantasy, making the deals. But, like with that last thing, right? Oh, yeah, we got to play the booster. Like with the last showcase that they had. I think there is a part of me that is, and I'm not saying happy with this thing, because I think there's going to be a huge fallout to this whole thing. I think that there's going to be major acquisitions. Once this deal goes through, I think people are going to try scooping up everything. And I think there's going to be this consolidation shit going on. And I don't want the same games that we're going to get just like, brought to you by Sony, brought to you by Xbox, brought to you by Microsoft, brought to you by Tencent, brought to you by Amazon. Like, I don't care who owns it. I just want to make sure that the games are being made for quality and making us like have experiences that we expect to have of our current gen machines and whatever mid-year refreshes they do, whatever the hell they do. But I think I would say as soon as the FTC thing went down, if I was Jim Ryan and Herman Holtz, man, I would be like, fire everything. I would say get a goddamn showcase out there. Scrap that shit that you just did in June or May, whatever the hell you did it, and just say, now, show them what all our studios are working on. Show them Wolverine. Show them what we're doing. Because that's what they want. And I think Sony has been quiet with their first-party studios. That's what a lot of the frustration was with their thing. Like, not that they're not releasing games and not doing innovative things, and they did the VR and tons of VR games, but I think what's coming next, the second wave of PlayStation 5 only games coming from their first-party studios. We heard the thing about Naughty Dog's game, and what if there's a new one, God of War, what are we doing? And honestly, I think this should light a fire under their ass. That's what I'm hoping. I hope they come out and go, you know what? It's time. Let's go. Because they could wipe the news clean if they have a blowout show about games with release dates and crazy gameplay. Let the games do the talking. Not Jim Ryan, not Herman Holtz. Let the games do goddamn talking. And go show what the hell you're working on. And that will erase all this stuff, because we're still here in July. We're at the middle of July right now. And guess what? A year and a half of this Activision thing, and you're still here saying, where are the Xbox games? Everybody seems to forget Redfall. That's the last trash you got. That was a first-party game, $70. Oh, we got Starfield. Okay, and you got Forza. But still, you got 30 goddamn studios. Where is the gameplay? Where are these games? You still have the same issues that you had before these billions of dollars were spent. Where are your games? If you have a service, day one, everybody, you should be heading off every goddamn moment of showing your games. And they're still not there. Exactly, man, Joe. That's exactly, and I was thinking that too. He goes, "What are you talking about? We have no games. We got Call of Duty and Diablo." Exactly. That's the logic. That's the illogic of the whole situation. They can be like, "Oh, we got Call of Duty this holiday." You want to do those mental gymnastics, then you do you. But you know damn well, don't act dumb. You know. That's why I've seen, and I told you already. I'll get to you, Toolman. I told you already. What? The ink is not even dry, and I already saw podcasts going, who's next? Who's next? They're the Cookie Monster doesn't look here was Cookie saying, "Oh, it was just fun. I was playing around." Take-Two should be next from Microsoft. Take-Two. That told you they're not done because they know that this Activision Blizzard deal means nothing more to them than what was already coming from Activision Blizzard. They're hoping that Phil's going to flip over tables and bring back new IP, but I could tell you as a Conker fan, don't hold your friggin' breath. Because Microsoft had the potential to bring back IP. Banjo, don't hold your breath. Cameo, Viva Pinata, Voodoo Vince. Don't hold your breath. They had the potential. They had it. And they've done nothing with it for over 20 years. And they know that this Activision deal just means that Call of Duty's everywhere, but it's brought to you by Microsoft. And guess what? That only goes so far on Twitter. Brought to you by Microsoft. That's what it is. But it's still going to your competition. You can't leverage Call of Duty like you wanted to. What Microsoft needs to do is say Call of Duty's only available in Game Pass. Call it a day. That's what they need to do, but they can't. And they don't look like they want to bring it back to that. They can't bring it. They got to bring up a brand new game, and who knows? Like I said, if they own the company, they could say, "Hey, interns, work on Call of Duty. We're going to make something new." But they're hoping. That's why they're talking about what's next. Who are they going to buy next? And that's the thing. Like, I don't want Microsoft to buy the industry and funnel it in Game Pass. Because the games that we love, the games that we like, the franchises that we like, are going to be compromised for a subscription service. Because you can't make the same game and spend that kind of money building a game to put it in a subscription unless you're willing to lose money. And I don't want to wait for that to happen. That's the problem. I don't want games to be compromised for the services because Microsoft only sees it through one way. It's subscription and cloud gaming. That is it. There's no other alternative. And Nintendo and Sony are doing their thing, and they're doing fine. And people buying their games at whatever price they want to put on them. $70 for Zelda. Yep. Thank you very much. If you don't want to pay $70, wait. But don't compromise the game because there's some dude that doesn't want to spend $70. That's the problem. You know, don't say we don't need no fancy restaurants because the one guy doesn't want to pay the money. Well, that's screw him. There are people that want to pay that money and have that experience. There needs to be choices for us as gamers. More choice. Not more choice in Phil Spencer's eyes. Oh, I want to do game of choice. Nah, bullshit. You want to give choice to gamers on your accord, where you decide Game Pass is, what you decide the subscription is, what you describe who could play your games and who can't. Leaving out Black Nuts, Cloud. Come on. Somebody got to play on those Black Nuts. Leaving them out, hanging out dry in the cold, all shriveled up. But those are on your terms. What happens if somebody wants to play Call of Duty on Luna? I can't believe Amazon had nothing to say. Where's their deal? It's on Microsoft's terms, who they want to do deals with. So more people to play, but more people to play where I say you're going to play. That's the choice. And that's not really a choice, is it? Activision was a free open market before Microsoft got their ass-grabbing hands on them. Activision could have made deals with anybody. And they were. They were making deals with Sony, not with Microsoft. So Microsoft's like, uh-oh, you don't want to take me to the prom? Well, I'm buying the goddamn limo and the prom. You're coming with me now. You're my first date. Now Sony can't take him to the prom because Phil owns it. Microsoft doing that. Nobody wants to dance with their Azure cloud. Well, we'll buy Minecraft and turn it into Azure clouds because nobody wants to select us. They want Amazon. Do you see? Microsoft wants choice based on their benefit. And what I don't like is them telling you and telling people and people spreading this out like Phil's the goddamn Dalai Lama, kumbaya son of a bitch, but he's really the slickster snake oil Phil Ness we always know. They're sleazy sons of bitches with money. And they realize that the gaming industry doesn't want to dance with them. So they're making their own dance and paying them. And what's going to happen is there's going to be turnover. Whether Sony scoops them up, whether they go, whatever happens. But I think Sony right now they got the 10 years. Call of Duty's done, 10 years. I don't think they're going to make a Call of Duty equivalent, but I think now the market is open for a good first-person shooter. People want it. I think people want something different than Call of Duty. There's Call of Duty, even Battlefield. They're not at their prime anymore. There is X-Deviant, seems to be doing all right, but I don't know about that. There's Ubisoft. But there is a market. But I just think that Sony really needs to do a wave 2. And they need to kind of cleanse the gaming industry with quality. Just show what the potential is and what you've been working on, and that's it. And I think there was a missed opportunity a few months ago, and I think they need to bring it. It's going to be the September Game Awards, but Sony needs to kind of unleash. And not go buy other companies. I'm not saying unleash that way. Buy Square, but I think Sony needs to show what they got cooking in their first-party output. That's what I think they need to do. And I'm hoping once this deal gets done, that's the future that I want to see. I want to see a wave 2 and see the show that we probably should have got. So hopefully this lights a fire under their ass to do that because they got to stop being secretive in their shit and really show what the hell's coming to PlayStation because I think they got to grasp back that mind share back. They got to make sure that mind share back. Like if this coming out there, Sony, Microsoft owns Activision, Call of Duty, and I think Sony has to come out there and say, dude, here's Wolverine, here's Spider-Man 2, here's all this shit. Let me get super chats. We'll check that out, Josh has. Let me get back to Ryan. That's Activision just made a deal with the devil. Bethesda knows that now. Yeah, right? Bethesda, they were expecting 10 million sales for those Starfield and all that other stuff. I think it's going to do well on PC. But dude, they're taking a loss on that shit. But yeah, Bethesda, they get controlled. And who knows? You know, things like Bethesda, I don't know about cold Activision, but like things like that, they might, they might, people might, who want to get purchased might see and go, oh, wow, they're not really happy over there at Microsoft. Like, look at Arcane. Arcane was not happy with how they handled how they handled Redfall. They weren't happy about that. Pete Hines didn't look happy about making stuff exclusive either. Especially, and that's a double standard. It's like, wait, why is Call of Duty everywhere? Because you got to think, right? These developers, This is your job. Think about if you did your job every day for 4 years, 5 years, coming in Monday through Friday, every day, working overtime, making things, like giving your heart and soul out there as an artist, as a designer. And then somebody named Booty comes over to you, gives you a coffee, 2 creams, 1 sugar, and says, yeah, you're only putting that on our subscription service. You're not putting it anywhere else. So this is not going to be seen by the biggest platform holder globally. That's the other thing. I'm putting this on Game Pass and Xbox. They're missing out on a big global market, especially in Europe, and not putting it on a PlayStation. That's what I mean. If that install base of that PlayStation keeps growing, Microsoft's going to be idiotic for missing out on PlayStation sales. And they're not going to compensate that with PC sales because the PC dudes want something different. And if it's not a PC franchise, they're not going to buy it at the waves that's going to they're not going to buy it at the level of a PlayStation 5. The console's going to buy it. But see, Bethesda game, they'll sell on PC. They could offset that, I think. But if you make some other games, they're not going to offset that without putting it on PlayStation. Call of Duty, in a sense. They could not take it off PlayStation and say, yeah, Call of Duty on PC and Xbox will be good. No. They need that PlayStation audience on that one. Toolman asks, what happened to all those Xbox players who enjoyed buying the games they played and then light switch? They love services, demand everything in it. Yeah, it's all, Toolman. The thing is that it's all. I can't even think that it's real anymore. These guys, they got these they got the microphones, they got all the lights and the accessories and all this thing on their channels and all this other stuff, and then they get on there and they go, yeah, but you gotta pay. I don't want to buy any games. Its service is great. It's like, you got all this technology here. You paid all this shit's expensive. The microphones, the monocasters, computer screens, all this. You got all this shit, but you're gonna come on here and tell people, don't buy your games. I don't get it. That's why I mean, like, and with all this stuff going on with Twitter monetization and all this stuff, I don't even know what's real anymore, dude. That's why I appreciate if you guys. This is God honest shit. This is real. This is who I am. This is what's going on. That's why we got the grinders and we got what it is, because you know that this is this straight shooter. This is how I am. I like something. I don't like something. I'll tell you. Hit that like button, because this is what it is. Let me see if I missed any super chats though. Let me see here. Oh, I did. The game night. He goes, I can't believe Phil fought to... yes, it goes along with what I was saying. I can't believe Phil fought to get the Indiana Jones game exclusively when the latest movie is one of the biggest flops for Disney. I know, right? Thank you, Game Night, for the super chat. But yeah, you're right. Like, dude, like, seriously. God damn, Harrison, they trashed the shit of that friggin' Indiana Jones. Nobody gonna want Indiana Jones anymore. They might as well go make it a friggin' goddamn Pitfall. That's right, Impatient. Boutique designer custom PCs, liquid cool, lays graphics cards, too broke to buy games. I don't get it. Don't get it at all. Do not get it at all. But yeah, those, those are all the topics that I wanted to cover today. But yeah, shout out to Link that came through. But yeah, like I don't, it's a really waiting game right now. But the only thing I could hope, and I was thinking about when this deal was gonna seem like it definitely go through, I was just like, I hope Sony just goes, it's time, go. What? There we go. There's another one. Ryan Lands breaking. Forza Motorsport will not have drag or drift events at launch. Just confirmed by the game's creative director. Like,
would you ship that? What you just played? Would you ship that? What you just played?
How many times? Drag and drift were part of the game. Every Forza. And know what's crazy, Ryan, is that Forza Motorsport was an biannual franchise. And this year, this Forza that's coming out now, just like Halo, has taken the longest it's ever been to come out. It should be fully featured since they skipped so many years of the last Forza 7 till now. This game should be fully featured. Forza was coming out every 2 years. Forza 6, Forza 7. But then it takes a couple of years hiatus, and now comes out, and now here you go. Come on. Open your mind. Open your eyes. Not you guys. Everybody else that's out there that just says Game Pass is great. Look. This is the first Forza built for Game Pass. Yep, not at launch. Where have we heard that again? Not at launch.
End of the line.
Day one, yeah. They give it to you day one. It's incomplete day one. Creative choice, 30 frames, 60 frames not available at launch for Redfall. We're sorry. Now Forza, no drift, no drag racing. What? What is it? Let's go around the circuit for friggin' what? Basic 300 cars? How many tracks? 5, 10? Yeah. I told you, they're going to spoon feed this shit to you because it's built for the service. Oh my God. How many more facts do you need? If Halo, the biggest franchise, is not evidence as to how they will ship a game built for Game Pass. Here we go again. And it'll be not a big deal. Forza Drift, it's a news playing drift. The fact is, the point of shipping a game that had this stuff when it was biannually released, now the game doesn't come out for 4 years, 3 years, or 4 or 5 years in between versions since 7. When did Forza come out? Forza 7, the last one, came out in 20. Was that the last one? Forza 7, right? Forza 7 came out in 2017. Was there Forza 8 or is this Forza 8? No, this is Forza 8. 2017 was the last Forza. 2017. How the hell does this game have less than? When the Forza was coming out every 2 years. 5 years later, not at launch, drifting and drag racing. Drag racing was in the first Forza. This is what I'm talking about. This is what a game built for Game Pass. You think they're going to give it all to you on day one so you could jump on, play it, and jump off? No. Spoon feed them. Sew their ass shut and keep feeding them and feeding them and feeding them. Little by little, drip by drip. Keep them engaged. Keep them subscribed. More. Little by little. Delay the game. Phil, get out there. Say you're sorry. Keep going. It's 2017 till now. There you go. And that's not just one fact. That is just the motif of everything. Who says Perfect Dark's not going to be like that? Fable, episodic. Who says? Do we know? I don't know. You don't know. Makes sense. Dude, telling you.
You're done. You're washed. It's over.
I knew Forza was suspect when they didn't show Forza like they used to show Forza. They show Forza breaking down incredible like all the time. One whole race. Dude,
I know. When they were showing Forza all like shady and engine shit, all this other engine and all this other stuff, I knew exactly what's happening. Forza the service game. Yeah, there it is. The song again on Grinders. Hit that like button. For that trash. That's right, Ryan. Forza getting that Game Pass treatment. There it is. And they won't make a big deal. They're like, oh, big deal. Why is everybody crying? Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Oh, and I got one more. Here's for everybody that's staying later here. I got one more little tidbit. Here we are is the new Xbox fan, not Lulu, but the new Xbox executive that came into the light of day. Here he is.
And
there he is, Mr. Brad Smith, talking about, like I said before, this deal, there's no logic. This is not strategic. This was desperation. And they did everything they needed to do to get it through the regulatory agencies to pacify and do that. There's no logic here. I'll let you read the tweet, but first listen to what he says.
just in terms of that agreement with Nintendo, that's an interesting one because, of course, it's very much focused on Call of Duty, one of the big hit games out of Activision Blizzard as well. Would you commit to other games too? I know with NVIDIA, it's a broader library of games, but with Nintendo specifically Call of Duty, and there could still be some concerns from regulators here that actually some of the other big games from Activision Blizzard could sort of fall foul and could sort of be made exclusive to Microsoft platforms.
We're not hearing concerns today from Nintendo about other titles. I think we have a very good relationship with Nintendo. In the United States, literally, we're just a few kilometers apart in Redmond, Washington. We have more than 20 titles available on Nintendo devices today. This ensures that Call of Duty will be added to that list. I think there's a bright future for both of us.
And just in
Dude, if not every goddamn Microsoft executive tells that Nintendo is also located in Redmond, I don't know what the hell that means. Circuit City was right next to Best Buy. That didn't mean that they were friggin' friends. All right? I don't understand the location of your headquarters means that you have a good relationship. What do you do? Was Booty serve them coffee too? I don't know. Every Microsoft exec, Phil says it all the time. But listen to the logic. The one game that Nintendo dudes are not going to play, there's no look at what he says. Again, in
terms of that.
There's no concerns from Nintendo with his T-Rex arms. There's no concerns from Nintendo about other games. It's just Nintendo didn't give a shit what you were doing. You're the whore that went out there and hoard out Call of Duty. Nintendo didn't want it. Nintendo wasn't coming to you saying we got complaints. You're the one that used Nintendo to boost up your chart, bitch. That's what you did. You went out there and used Nintendo to say we're adding 200 million people now to Call of Duty. You went out and sought out Nintendo so you could fluff up your numbers like a ball fluffer to say, we got 2 million people. That you benefited by offering Call of Duty to Nintendo because then you said, don't you remember all the lines? Well, we're offering now Call of Duty to 200 people, right? Wait, where is it? I have it right here. Well, Call of Duty, where is it?
You're my #1 customer.
Call of Duty. No, not that one. He said we're adding 200 million more players now because you use Nintendo for Call of Duty. Nintendo wasn't complaining. But listen,
agreement with Nintendo. That's
what about the other games that they got, like Crash?
One of the big hit games out of Activision Blizzard as well. Would you commit to other games too? I know with NVIDIA, it's a broader library of games, but with Nintendo specifically Call of Duty, and there could still be some concerns from regulators here that actually some of the other big games from Activision Blizzard could sort of fall foul and could sort of be made exclusive to Microsoft platforms.
We're not hearing concerns today from Nintendo about other titles.
Nintendo's other concerns from Nintendo.
I think we have a very good relationship with Nintendo. In the United States, literally, we're just a few kilometers apart in Redmond, Washington. Today, we're not hearing concerns today from Nintendo about
Microsoft platforms.
We're not hearing concerns today.
Microsoft platforms.
We're not hearing concerns today from Nintendo.
You're my number one customer.
I think we have a very good relationship with Nintendo. In the United States,
2 million people. They use them for their numbers. Such a...
Literally, we're just a few kilometers apart.
Actually, some of the other big games from Activision Blizzard could sort of fall foul and could sort of be made exclusive to Microsoft platforms.
We're not hearing concerns today from Nintendo.
So that means that Diablo 3, Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, all those games are not going to the Nintendo, but they will put Call of Duty there. Not hearing concerns. Nintendo didn't even care about Call of Duty, dude. You use them. Where the hell is it? Call of Duty on Switch. Here it is. Here, what the hell? Where is it? $10-year deal for Nintendo, right? They'd use them for their numbers. Remember? Bringing now them and NVIDIA, 200 million more people to Call of Duty. What a joke. But yeah, that's what I mean. Strategic wise, you would put all those games, those other games on there that would sell. But just Call of Duty, because that's the only thing that the regulators were talking about was Call of Duty. There you go. That's why I said this is not a strategic deal, dude. This is desperation, and they're figuring it out. You saw Phil Spencer's email to Jim Ryan. Jim Ryan wrote a huge email of expectations of what he had for this deal and what he wanted to ensure for his customers. And Phil Spencer says, "We'll figure it out." Like, yeah, well, I gave you the deal, but we'll sort something out. Like, it's like, dude, what are you talking about? Just haphazardly spend $70 billion. Drep SX3 weasels, but let's cheer on acquisitions, everybody. Hey man, this is what we're talking about now. This is all they do is goddamn friggin' acquisitions. Let's keep buying more. They're not done. That's what pisses me off. I don't want them to buy more franchises that I like and throw them into goddamn Game Pass and turn them into Forza with missing features and Halo missing features on launch. Not at launch. See? And then still ship the game for $70. One-on-one with the 2. He goes, seriously, where's that 60 frames patch for Redfall? Dude, it's coming at the Game Awards. Where the hell is it? But yeah. Like, what is the logic there? Those franchises will probably sell on a Switch. You would think those will go on a Switch. No, Nintendo says that, okay, we just won't call. Nintendo doesn't want Call of Duty. Nintendo wants probably those other games. But whatever. That was a bonus topic for you. See the sneaky Brad Sams. I don't trust them at all. It's gonna be a Game Awards. It's gonna be a Game Awards announcement. That's exactly what's happening. Oh, but anyway, grinders. that's the show. Hit the like button, share it out. Thank you again for all the support, all the super chats, all the VIP members that joined. I have work to do. Add a new wall to this thing. Thank you again, everybody. And with that,
Where's the lamb
we just know Microsoft got Call of Duty, and they've been going around, like I said.
Oh no! We suck again!
You know, people forget that Microsoft just went around for the last 2 years saying how bad they suck. And they're like, oh, Xbox is back, and people are bending the knee.
We are lost, we after making great games. Will not matter because we are mortal. I will meet you outside, that's not you can take it. Picture with me because that is what matters, not the things on me.
I see commentary that if you just build great games, everything would turn around. It's just not true that if we go off and build great games, all of a sudden you're going to see console share shift in some dramatic way. We lost the worst generation to lose in the Xbox One generation.
And there it is.
Where everybody
it's
built their digital
over.
library of games.
It's all about Game Ass Pass. Good night, everybody.
Oh, and Psychonauts 2. Games are coming fast. 12 minutes and Hades. And they're all on Game Pass. Somerville, a Plague Tale Requiem. What to play first?